Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the live show. I hope everybody's having a great night. Thanks to everybody who was just tuning in to listen to the Neuro One Medical Technology CEO, Dave Rosa. That was a really good interview. I thought it was great. I thought everything he had to say was awesome, and it was a very interesting one. So check that out after the show. If you did not, it's a very good listen and talking about, obviously, neurological things right there. So that stock ticker, we'll look at it to start the show. But first, all information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only, non-intended as financial advice. Always do your due diligence. How is everybody today? Here you go. That's your heat map, a little bit mixed up. And like I said, Neuro One Medical Technologies, NMTC. What am I typing in here? NMTC. There we go. Now I can type. And there you go. Look at it. He was just saying on the show, on the interview, when I was talking to him, that there's a bunch of warrants, I think 4 million, expiring at the end of tomorrow, I believe he said. I want to say it was definitely that. But go ahead and listen to that interview and conversation. That was a great one. So yeah, the CEO of Neuro One Medical Technologies, Dave Rosa. You can listen to that. I just talked to him at 7 p.m. So go back and listen to it. So there you go. That's not looking too bad right there. And you got a bunch of warrants expiring. So we'll keep an eye on it. We'll keep it on the list and see what it's going to be up to right here, since we were just learning about the company. At least I was. I saw a lot of people on there. Progressive G, Laptop Travel, Luis Rodriguez, all kinds of people were on there. Michael Anthony hopped on there. And so, yeah, greatly appreciate everybody hopping on. ONDS, let's go through and see what's going on here in the market. ONDS trying to run up even higher right here. Look at it. Looking pretty good right there. ONDS, here you go. And this bad boy just wants to continue to run up there. So I think we have to keep that on the watch list for tomorrow to see if it wants to run up a little bit more right there. So ONDS has been running. I bet Galaxy's going to be looking good. Bitcoin, crypto. Let's look at it really quick. Look at that map. 95, it just went over. Wow. Yeah, 95. Ethereum's at 33.23. Solana's at 145. Like I said to you guys, the Bitcoin and crypto looked like they wanted to get running. I wasn't kidding. And there you go. We've been calling it perfectly. And I did say it was going to roll off that MACD, did I not? And there you go. They're ripping right there. Ethereum. So, you know, BMNR and all them guys are going to be doing good. But we'll look at everything tonight and see what's going on. Here's your Ripple. It's ripping right there. Doge is looking pretty good. They all look basically the same. And Stellar's pretty stellar right there. And I'm pretty optimistic, like I said last night, that they were rolling off the MACD. Look at that bad boy. That one's up pretty good, 16% right there for OP optimism. So there you go with your crypto look, everybody. And let's continue to go through and see what Galaxy's up to. I don't know what I'm typing in here, but here's Galaxy. That was up today. That looks really good. That could be a top pick for tomorrow. I know Ben likes that one. We'll be looking at it. And how about ASTS right here, dipping down a little bit? We'll see how much it wants to go down tomorrow. And then how about your UMAC? That was kind of just sitting there today. It looks like it's setting up to try to run off that MACD right there for UMAC, UMAC, and Nuclear was kind of hanging out, and then it took a dip right there. So you can keep an eye on Nuclear. Let's see. Like I said, it was hanging out today, and then it dipped right at the end of the day. I was watching that. See if that one's going to get set up. SRM is another one. It was just hanging out there as well. That's not that. SMR. I'm sorry. SMR. That's what it is. I was going to say, they changed the stock ticker to that. What did I do? SRM, and that's Tron. All right, there you go. Tron. I guess they had mixed, but SMR right here is New Scale. I was definitely confused right there. But anyway, that is pulling back, and we'll look at Oklo real quick. I know it's on the list somewhere, and that was pulling back. So Nuclear pulling back a little bit. Rocket Lab right here pulling back some. But it ran up in early this morning. This one's been looking great. UAVS, this was up big today, and it was up at one point like 30%, and now it's kind of sitting there. Look, what did I just do? I just shrunk that chart down. Let me blow it back up there. But yeah, it's hitting that resistance. You could see it pulling back there tomorrow. We'll go through our indices and everybody in a few. And Redwire right here, let's see what that was doing. That was pulling back as well. So a lot of these drones, aerospace, and defense, some of these are pulling back, but they could get moving really quick. And EOSE, this one was not looking bad. What the heck? Where are my fingers at here? Why don't I have them on the keyboard? Right there we go. EOSE, this one's been looking good. Look at that. It ran up even more in the after hours. So there you go. And what am I typing tonight? IREN right here has been blasting off, and that looks like it could be a good one. We've been talking about this one running up the last few days, and it certainly is. So there you go at IREN. And how about our critical metals dipping down? And some of these metal ones are dipping down, like MP was pulling back a little bit. So they did run up pretty good this morning, and then now they're pulling back right there. So that's what you're seeing. We did look at OCLO right here, OKLO, and it is pulling back that nuclear one, and ABTC. Let's look at our Trump crypto ones right here. And let me just send a quick message real quick. Give me 2 seconds. All right. And yeah, let's look at the Trump crypto treasure, or the Trump crypto companies. You know they're going to be setting up. They were trying to set up last week. This ABTC had been running up. It pulled back a little bit to that 20. It's rolling up there. I would take a look at it tomorrow. It's probably going to be cruising there. And like I said, I think we determined the bottom on these guys. And like I told you, I would just they're going to be tough ones to really trade because they're going to run with crypto depending on if it's up or down, Sam. But if you know where the bottom is and you know they're going to run straight up, you can just kind of play them accordingly. Look at Pew right there. That was running, and today just kind of a little bit of healthy pullback, nothing crazy, but that should continue to go up. And NCPL is dipping down a little bit, but let's see what they look like tomorrow, PSQH. But yeah, this ABTC does look good. Oh, what am I typing in here? ABTC, American Bitcoin Corp. There you go. And that is the one that looks pretty good right now out of the Trump crypto ones. And this is like their main company, I would say. So keep an eye on that. I would say when Bitcoin gets fired up, that one's going to be looking good right there. BMNR, that's going to be looking good. Look at it in the after hours right there. And SBET UPXI, you can bet that these guys are going to be running right here. UPXI setting up right there. And then finally, you might get ORBS to try to run right here. So we'll see. It's up a little bit today. It does look pretty damn good right there for ORBS. That could be a great opportunity. And this FGNX, this one's been running a lot lately. It did have a little pullback today, but that looks healthy, and it looks like it was running up in the after hours with the rest of crypto. So FGNX right there, FG Nexus, that looks pretty good still. And there you go with your crypto ones. And let's take a look and see what our quantum and computer hardware ones are doing, because I'll tell you which one looked really good today. We played it today, RGTI, QMCO pulling back a little bit. Here's your RGTI right here. It had been running up a little bit there. And let's see, look at that. It ran up. It was up in early, pulled back there, and then it was ran up at the very end of the day there. We played the dip down here, so that's why I was saying it ran up a little bit for us, enough where we got some action out of it, as you can see. And then it pulled back there in the after hours. I wasn't really watching in the after hours, to be honest with you, but it still doesn't look too bad right there. Pulled back towards the end of the day. RGTI. Oh, we were playing RCAT. What am I playing? RGTI. No, I'm looking at RGTI thinking about RedCat. This is the one we were playing. I was going to say, that doesn't really look like the dip that we caught there today. This is the one that we caught there. I have to look at the right one. We caught this dip this morning, and then it ran up at the end of the day. I was looking at RGTI today, too, to be honest with you, but I was confusing the two on what we were playing in the Discord. So my bad, Sam. You were playing RCAT, not RGTI. I know that. And I was just looking at this one to see what it was up to right there, because I do think that's trying to get set up. So we're keeping an eye on it. Let's look at the rest of these. QUBT, that was pulling back a little. They don't even look bad right there. QBTS, your D-Wave Quantum, that was just kind of hanging out. And again, they don't really necessarily look bad. A little bit of healthy pullback today. QTUM, the Defiance Quantum ETF, a little bit of healthy pullback. QSI right here trying to get moving. Keep an eye on that one. That one could get cruising right there. IONQ right here dipping down, and that could have a little more pullback. And here's our cat right here, guys, and that was ripping up there. Aerospace and Defense still looks good going into tomorrow. And Sam, that was the one we were playing there, and not RGTI. And there's Z-Space pulling back a little. This is a character, that Z-Space right there, but that is what your quantum and computer hardware ones are looking at. And let's keep on cruising right through. We'll roll right through our list tonight, see what's going on, what's going to be popping for tomorrow. And I did mention some Apple calls today, and look at it. It's getting set up here, guys. I think Apple's getting ready to get cruising, so you might want to keep an eye on that. And let's see, UNH. Let's look at our healthcare ones. They're pulling back some more right there. Even Oscar was pulling down a little bit. It had been recently running up, and that MOH was pulling back. So there's healthcare. We'll watch and see when that wants to get set back up. And open door right here. Let's see if the door is going to open up. It is pulling back at the moment. We'll see. It could come back down to that 20 right there. Had that big spike up the other day. And let me take a look at LDI right here, a little bit of pullback as well. How about Home Depot and Lowe's? Because they look like they're pretty healthy. Home Depot's running up and Lowe's right there. So you might want to keep an eye on Home Depot and Lowe's there tomorrow. They were looking pretty good today. They're still running up there. Lowe's looks like a little bit of healthy pullback. In the after hours, we'll look at it in the morning, but that's not a bad look. It's been running up there, and Home Depot not bad either. So we keep an eye on them two bad boys. Home Depot looks like it wants to go cruising there tomorrow. It looks a little better for tomorrow than Lowe's at the moment. So keep your eye on that. And let's see what is going on with some of these other ones like Sinestech, Hertz. Sinestech still setting up down here. It's still riding this line down. Look at it. I can't believe it even lowered itself down right there, leveled down. It leveled down right there to the bottom. So we'll see if it wants to get bouncing off of here. It appears like it wants to be completely honest with you. It's just not doing it. So we'll watch for some good opportunity down here for good old Sinestech. And let's see what else is Hertz doing right now. That was pulling back a little bit today. And then CMG finally pulling back. It's been going up slow and steady into the top, and now a little bit of healthy pullback. We'll see if it wants to still run. And your Cracker Barrel right there, like I was saying, guys, play to pop, but be careful. It does look like it still wants to run up. Look at this look right here. Green, little red, green, little red, green, little red, green, little red. What do you think tomorrow might bring? I would say keep that pattern going. Cracker Barrel might be a great one for tomorrow and might be the pop that you're really looking for right there. So look at it, stair step. That one, if you just keep going, it should pop up pretty well right there for Cracker Barrel. So we'll see if that pattern keeps as your 20 and 50 you're meeting. Does anyone else see that stair stepping up perfectly like that? I mean, that is a beauty. But again, that could mean that it's going to run up, pop up right here, and then come crashing right back down like I've been saying. So, yeah, without even seeing this, look at that stair step right there. That's pretty impressive. You don't see that every day, guys. Look at that. Take a snapshot of that chart right there. That's awesome looking. So there you are with Cracker Barrel. And again, like I said, play to pop because you might see a big old dip coming on it. And here is Boil right here, BOIL. I know how to spell Boil. It's up a little bit today, not looking too bad. And that is your natural gas. And we were looking at UNH or UNG, not that UN. The heck is it? What the heck is it? UNG, right? Yeah, UNG. And that one was up a little bit right there. So there you go with your natural gas. And then Gush is oil and gas, and that's even up and looking pretty good right there. Look at ExxonMobil. That one's up today. Oxy right here, not looking too bad. That looks like it wants to curl up there tomorrow, so keep an eye on that. And let's see what CVX is doing. Chevron was up a little bit, hitting some resistance, so we'll have to keep an eye on that one there tomorrow. But that's what they look like. And Plug right here just sitting there, hanging out, but that does look like it's getting set up to get moving. QuantumScape was down a little bit. Looks like it could pull back some, as you can see. It's trying to keep a base right there, to be honest. Let's see what Quantum. Then I go back and forth with this yesterday, and it's probably why. It has that weird look. It's just giving me like an off look right here. I'll look at it tomorrow and see. I don't want to tell you it's going one way or the other, but Rocket Mortgage right here, Zach. Like I said yesterday, didn't I say yesterday? You might want to think about a lot. And of course, it might bounce up. Watch tomorrow. See if it bounces back up tomorrow, but be careful. Comes out of that top right there. You could have a little bit of pullback. You might want to think about taking some of those profits right there. Luis Rodriguez said, Cracker Barrel chart looks like Google's from April through September 2025. That's interesting. Let me look at Google at that time. What was it? April through September? You said in April through September. Oh, yeah, like right there. And that would be 2025, April through September. And then see if it gets popping like Google. I mean, like I said, it does look really good. You're not lying. But again, it could come down there. I've seen them do this before, Luis Rodriguez, where they jump up like this and then they come crashing down. And it almost has like a perfect recipe to do it. But it is looking good. So I'm saying play the pops on this bad boy, and we'll continue to look at it right there. No problem, Zach. Yeah, keep an eye on that rocket right there. Rocket companies for you. And it is making a base. You're in the top. It could easily bounce up, stay in the top, go higher. You see it trying to right there. But again, be ready for it to try to pull back. You can see right here, it literally looks like it wants to start making that curl down. So that's what you're looking at, and you're probably getting topped out. And maybe it goes up a little bit more, Zach. But again, that one ran up pretty well and has held itself up there pretty good. So, Laptop Travel does think that Cracker Barrel will run as spring approaches, so we'll be watching it. We're keeping it on our list. Let's put it that way. It's not going off our list. Cracker Barrel, CBRL, and we'll all debate about it because it's a lot of fun to talk about, I'd say. So anyway, let's keep on cruising. IMRX right here, still dipping down. We'll have to keep an eye on this. It will be a good opportunity. It's just got beat down after them. That report came out. And Lucid right here down a little bit. What did I just hit? I have no idea. Where did Lucid just go? There it is. Where did it go? All right, let me try that again, guys. I don't even know what I did. That was a magic trick. Lucid right here. Here it is. Reappear Lucid. Abracadabra. There you are. And it is down a little bit, and it is struggling. So we'll keep an eye on it. I was obviously looking at that today. And like I said, I was watching it for a re-entry, but not looking good yet. So we'll watch that one. And Rich Tech Robotics not doing a whole lot today, it says. Let's look at Galt right here because, like I said, one to keep an eye on and definitely going to get set up. I think we're approaching that bottom right here. You're making a little bit of a base, and I don't think it's going to level down. So we'll watch this Galt tomorrow, Joseph Levy. Maybe it can get cruising right here and we can get rolling. So that is our GALT. We'll have to keep an eye on that one right there. And how about fun? Our Six Flags right here. A little bit of healthy pullback, but nothing crazy. That looks like it's getting set up to run. So definitely keep an eye on FUN. That could get a lot of FUN fun right there. That's for sure. And what about Dave and Buster's play, not PLSA, but PLAY or whatever, or PLSY I typed in. It's PLAY, and that is running up a little bit, but has that resistance right there at about 1860. Where is it? Right there, 1860 area. I know I was looking at it earlier, but it looks pretty strong to try to get up there. So if you want to play Dave and Buster's, this is play right here, and you can play it tomorrow. Just remember, it has some resistance. Maybe it gets through right there, but you can see it bounced off. It is coming in pretty strong, but it has run up a few days there. So I always expect it to bounce off of that. Let's put it that way. So that's what you're looking at when you're playing good old play, and that is Dave and Buster's. MP right here, I think we looked at it earlier. It did run up, I think, early, and then pulled back there. Yeah, it was first thing this morning, then started pulling back. So we were looking at all these guys right there. And I know I put, yeah, that's on there. We'll look at it later. And EVTV, I know everybody wanted to look at this, so I know I put it down there. And look at that bad boy still in the top, everybody. I mean, we did say this morning it was probably going to gap up, or last night we did say, look at it, it would probably gap up there, and it certainly did. It was running around. It got up to 491 almost 5 hours right there. A little bit of pullback. The 20 and 50 are still trying to meet, but it is way up there. It had 287 million in volume today. Yesterday it had almost like it had 760 million in volume yesterday. So look at the volume tomorrow. We'll see what it wants to do. It might be coming back down after today. So you can keep an eye on that. EVTV, I wouldn't be chasing it up here, that's for sure, and I'd be locking in profits. I mean, if you're still holding it from the other day, that'd be wild. But anyway, there you go at EVTV, and that is a beauty right there. And we definitely called that out on the morning show and the pre-market live show yesterday. So if you were on there, you heard that one. ASPI was pulling back a little bit today. So it looks like it's trying to go up some in the after hours. So it's just kind of hanging out there. And we'll see. It almost looks like a little healthy pullback as your 20 and 50 are trying to meet up here. So we'll keep an eye on this ASPI. Bloom Energy, remember I mentioned this last night. BE, that was up in the top right there, running a little bit. LAC right there was up just a hair. We'll have to look at that one tomorrow. LAR not looking bad today, though. That ran up, hit some resistance, and in the top. So that one could be coming back down. And that's LAR. And then your U's right here. They are up a little bit of flatness right there. And honestly, they could go either way. So I'd have to look at you tomorrow. I was looking at it today. It didn't look bad today, I'll be honest. But then towards the end of the day, it kind of just flattened out there. So we'll see if it dipped down. That's why it was up most of the day. It dipped down and flattened out right there. So we'll have to keep an eye on you right there. Our 4 U's, and that's Energy Fuels and LMT. Let's look at it. It was up some more today. That is an aerospace and defense. Of course, Lockheed Martin right there. It was up. Fly. This one could get flying again. Like I said, we were watching, see what it wanted to do today. It was just kind of hanging out and pulled back pretty well. It's sitting on that trend line right there. Maybe it comes back down to the 24 area. So keep an eye on Fly if it wants to pull back. What's it say? They announced the Alpha Block 2 configuration upgrade with something. I don't even know what they're talking about. It doesn't really matter right there. And that is Fly. So there you go with that. How about your Samuel Adams right here, Luis Rodriguez? It was up a little bit today. That still looks pretty good, I must say. So keep an eye on good old Samuel Adams. That looks like it's getting set up right there. AMPX, that got hammered today, didn't it? We were looking at it in the morning. I wasn't necessarily looking at this one too much. It did take a huge dip down, but did go back up a little bit there. So we'll look at it tomorrow. Let me look at the Dowie chart right here. It was hitting some resistance. I don't even remember if that line was there, but it might not have been there and then got there today. I don't really remember yesterday's chart setup for this one, to be completely honest with you. There's Michael Anthony. How are you? And so, yeah, this one I think could have a little bit of pullback right there, a little more. How about TE, guys? I mean, holy cow, Sam. How about that one? What was I saying this morning? This one looked pretty good, right? Look at that, guys. Bam. That one was smoking today for TE. We were playing it. I actually sold it way early. Sam, I know, was hanging out there. He knows I sold it way early today, but we did play that one. I'm telling you, the live trading is it's insane, guys. Our cat right here. What were the options up, Sam? I tweeted it out, 70-something% there. And it looks like I want to go up some more tomorrow, to be completely honest with you. But yes, we had options on this hitting the hit the dip perfectly. Did we not, Sam? Right down there at 11. Now you're in the 13s. It's still looking good right there to go up. So I would say that was a good one. And it ran up even higher. You were all the way up almost near 14. I know that for our cat. So, yeah, we do our live trading. And you did good on that one, too. That's for sure. Oh, you did nice on that one also. There you go. So Sam played TE, and he also played the old RCAT right there. So he had a good day today. I'll tell you that. So good job, Sam. I'm telling you, Sam's murdering it in Discord, guys. If you're not in there and you have any questions, hit up Sam and ask him. He'll tell you what goes on. He's in there just destroying it. There's a bunch of people in there that destroy it every single day. That's for sure. So have fun in Discord. Like I said, I told you when it was 2026, we'd kill it every day. We're doing it every single day. Ben and I just absolutely destroying it. Laptop Travel in there a lot with us too on the live trading in the mornings. Not every morning, but he hops on there with us. And yeah, we have a good old time. And it's entertaining, but yet we destroy that market. Ben's good at what he does. You guys know I can look at a stock chart sometimes and tell you what it's going to do. Sometimes I get a little lucky, I guess. And then Rhett's actually really good with technicals and everything as well. And Laptop Travel's great. So, yeah, you get all 4 of us most of the time, or even 3 of us. So we do our live trading. It is a lot of fun. And we call them out pretty well every morning, huh, Sam? I'd say you would agree on that. And let's keep on cruising right through and seeing what's going on right here with MOBO. We were looking at Sam, too. Look at that, Sam. We were looking at Samuel Adams or Sam Boston Beer or whatever the hell it's called now. That looks really good, Sam. So you might want to play your name tomorrow. Red is the king of trading indices. He is really good at it, Sam. You're absolutely. That's why I asked him, which way are you going? And I have to get this. I have to get this set up. Laptop Travel. Is this what you have or no? Anyone have this Stream Deck thing, or what is that? What it's called? Stream Deck. Anyone have this bad boy? if you do, hit me up, shoot me a message, and tell me what the hell to do here. I got to set that bad boy up for the end of the season all and get it set up for the Weeble. I can play. I'm just too damn slow, Sam. My brain can't process to be able to like go in and be able to do it. Even when I'm not even kidding. Like I try to get it set up so like I already have it. Like I buy it. Say we're putting it down. I buy it. I already go in. I put a market trade in, and I get right to the last screen. So I literally just have to hit like close the trade at market. That's how I almost have to do it. And I still feel like I'm slow. Like that takes a while. If I just had like one button, I think Rhett does push one button on that stream deck, and it's like done deal right there. He's just selling them. So I got to get that figured out. I'll ask Rhett too, but anyone else has any insight on stream deck, feel free to hit me up and let me know what you know about it, because I'm going to get it set up. I think I can even set it up on the StreamYard or through the StreamYard or something like that. And then before you install your stream deck, you need to practice with hotkeys. Yeah, it's like the same thing. I'm assuming it's the same thing, right? Laptop travel, except this is like hotkeys on a stream deck. Stream deck will torpedo. I'll check it out here and see what the heck it does. And like I said, I'll play it safe. That's for sure. And but yeah, I'm pretty sure you could just like push a button and buy the cues and then push another one to sell them. I don't know. I'll find out. We'll figure it out. I know a couple people. Ben bought one, but I don't know if he's going to set that bad boy up. A couple of us bought them, and we'll get it figured out. Yes, you can use Stream Deck for any commands. We use it in your church's video and radio programming. Oh, wow, that's pretty impressive. All right, I'll figure this bad boy out. So I know I was seeing like people use it for their podcasts. I was like, wow, we could take this bad boy to the next level with that, because I always forget. Maybe if I put that there, I'll remember that half this stuff's over here. Remember we had sounds and stuff. There's all kinds of cool stuff. I always forget about it all though. And yeah, there was just something really cool to. Oh yeah, look at this. I could tell you guys to subscribe like that. How about that? That's pretty decent. I just forget that I have like all this pretty cool stuff over here at my fingertips, and I just don't really use any of it. Remember, we have this. Which one's dipping down pretty good today? Who's dipping down hard today? Aklo was. Aklo was like, you know what, guys? We're just going to be popping up there, and now all of a sudden, remember this? Oh, man. What are you doing over there, Aklo? Jeez, remember our sound effects? Yeah, if I had them like right in front of me on that stream deck, I'd probably remember. I just always forget that these things are even over here at my fingertips, to be honest with you. How crazy is that? But yeah, I got to remember these things. You guys can give me a big boo for always forgetting, because these things are great. Or you can give me an applause for remembering right now. I don't know. But anyway, there you go. It's enough playing around. And the audience sound effects are awesome. I love them. I think it was great when we have these things. So I just got to remember that they're on. And then, yeah, I can throw things up like, yeah, subscribe now. If you're not subscribing to this, you better. I mean, look at this show. It's pretty wild. I even throw effects up in the middle of the show with sounds and everything. I mean, it's pretty crazy. So anyway, let's go back to our show, and let's see, where the heck were we? I think I was looking at like Samuel Adams, because we were talking to Sam over there, and that is looking pretty good, Sam. So maybe we'll look at that tomorrow and see what it wants to do right there. And let's see what else is going on over here. MOBX, this was a penny stock just kind of hanging out there. Doge Mama 9, keeping an eye on this. Look at it hitting the MACD. That looks like at any moment it could pop off. That always looks like a dip and rip look to me for some reason. So keep an eye on this MOBX. I think we'll keep it on that penny stock list right there. Doge Mama 9, not looking bad. And what is next? Is that Mimi right there? That Laptop Travel, didn't you have this on your oh, he had that Miji. That one we were looking at, MIGI. We'll look at that too. That's on his Laptop Travel list. I actually took a picture to the list, because I did it early, because I was doing the interview, and Laptop Travel had sent over his list. I wrote it down, but I was like, I didn't really have enough time to take another picture and then send it out and all that. So I just sent out the list without Laptop Travel's list. But we do have a list, and we'll go through it. And yeah, he had MIGI on there today. And MIMI right here, Mimi, look at it. I mean, it still has that look where it's just hanging out. That's for sure. Here's that MIGI right here. And that was up. And weren't we just looking at this the other day? Keep an eye on that thing for tomorrow. That's a cheapie. Yeah, that Mawson or whatever, that's looking pretty good. MIGI, MIMI, that could get set up and run as well. So couple good ones right there. Doge Mom and 9. We can keep our eyes on them bad boys in the penny world. And let's see if there was any more cruising around right here. What the heck did I even write? MTNB? What is that? I guess we were looking at it yesterday. It must have been on the list, I guess. I have no idea. But it looks real good. I must have looked at it earlier and kept it on there. For whatever reason, I don't remember even looking at this thing. Where did this come from? That's a beauty. MTNB. Are we looking at that? I don't even remember. That's like looks brand new to me, guys. I don't know. I just like wake up from a dream. But MTNB right here, Martinez Biopharma, looking real good. Keep an eye on that one right there, Doge Mama 9. Were we looking at this one? MTNB. I feel like it had to have been on the list yesterday if I wrote it down. Where did I get that at? MTNB. Where did I write that down at? I don't even know, to be completely honest with you. I have no idea. Oh, that's on the laptop. I'm looking at the laptop travel list. That's why. I'm sorry. Jesus Christmas. I went right over to there. That's why. That's on your list. Yeah, we looked at it last week off your watch. I was going to say, I know we looked at this thing. It's on your watch list. All right, we'll go over to there in a minute. Let me finish our list. Mimi, but yeah, keep an eye on that thing, and we'll go through it again real quick. I was going to say, where do we look at that thing at? Mimi right here. That's not looking too bad. And Path got smashed. That's what I was going to tell you. Here you go. That's a perfect one, guys. You know that. This one was a great one for your old Path. It was on the right path, and then all of a sudden, I don't know what path it decided to take today, but it definitely wasn't the right one. It went down the wrong path and got beat up, I think. So sometimes that happens. It goes down the wrong path, ends up in the wrong alleyway, and this thing got its butt kicked today. Look at that, down 7%. So, yeah, I don't even know what the news was. Something happened. There's a couple of things happening right there, but not a good path for it now. It was looking good, but not anymore, Luis Rodriguez. So we'll have to keep an eye on that one. UAMY came down today, too. So some of these metal and mining ones, they were pulling back a little bit. And this one, CAN. Remember, I told you I give you great ones on the small cap show. Do I not? There you go. CAN. And that's a penny. Doge Mama 9. We should just play it. I'm telling you, this one's going to run probably massively. Watch. Mark my words. That's the bottom right there at 67 cents. It's already at 87, so you're already up 20 cents already from that bottom. And this thing looks like it wants to go cruising. Something's going on here. Don't ask me what, but something. And they have options right there. Look at that. Let's. Oh my good. Look at that. 42,000 and for next. Whoa, look at that, guys. We just might have found something interesting. I'm telling you, something's going on here. And we will be getting this tomorrow, guys. I'm telling you, something is happening right on the. We'll have to clip this because you know this bad boy. This is popping right here. CAN. I said it the other day on the small cap show. I've had it on. I had it on the list last week for the small cap show. And it is looking extremely good right here for Canon. I don't know, computer hardware in Singapore. Laptop travel. What do you know about Canon right here? It just seems like it'd be right up your alley for CAN. And if you don't know anything, maybe do a little write up on this bad boy because it's looking pretty good right here, I must say, for CAN. So there you go with that one. And let's take a look at Metaplanet over here, Luis Rodriguez, MTPLF or something like that, right? Yep, there you go. And there you go. It's running up a little bit. Another one looking pretty good. It's slowly but surely going up, but that can looks really good. I don't know why, but it just is jumping out to me. And Fubo right here is not looking bad, even with that little healthy pullback there today. And I know we've been talking about this one in the Discord. This one could absolutely get popping up there right there. We do have some option plays on that. ASST, how about their reverse split coming up now? 1 for 20 was it they announced? Look at this news. Ready Strive, that's the name of this company, ASST. Just take the T off and we'll call it that. Announces similar scientific shareholder approval of its all stock acquisition, additional Bitcoin purchases, and board approval of a 1 for 20 reverse split stock split for the combined company. What the hell are they even talking? Can you tell me what this is? I've read this 4 times earlier. I still can't figure out what are they. Did they partner with Semler? Is that are they partners with them? Did they buy them out? What is this even saying right here? Does anyone look? It sounds like they're buying out. Ready? Announces Semler shareholder approval of its all stock. Is Semler buying out Strive and then buying additional, or is Strive buying this company Semler and buying additional Bitcoin and having a reverse 1 for 20? That's now that I see for the combined company. Is that what it's doing? It's buying Semler Scientific. What was that stock ticker? Semler Scientific. This one, SMLR. That's what it is. So yeah, here you go. Shares fall after shareholders approve all stock acquisition by Strive. So it sounds like this Strive ASST is buying SMLR right here. SMLR. So it looks like Strive's buying them. They're buying some additional Bitcoin as well. And then they also did a 1 for 20 reverse split. So that all happened today. And then in the after hours, it still went up somehow. It went down. It was up the other day over $1. I know that. And then it pulled back, I guess, because of the 1 for 20, I'm assuming. But then I have no idea. I'm trying to make sense of this thing. Can anyone make sense of this ASST? I just don't know what the heck is going. It seems like too many things going on. Strive is acquiring Semler. All right, so I was kind of on the money. So they're acquiring them. They're buying more Bitcoin, and they're having a 1 for 20 reverse split stock. We might have to keep an eye on this thing, guys. Let's put it that way. I know that these guys, Eric Johnson, what is their name? I can't. Eric Jackson, and somebody else. I think that's his name. But anyway, them guys always pumping this thing. This in open door. But yeah, look at this bad boy. Big old dip. I'm assuming on the 1 for 20. Does it say and it doesn't tell me what the time was that anything even happened. So they announced the acquisition there right around noon is when they announced it, at least according to here. So ASST is trying to boost its Bitcoin holdings to nearly 13,000 Bitcoin, making it a top corporate holder. Highly leveraged, making investors nervous. Holy cow. I'd say so. I mean, they might be getting in right at the right time, though. If they can pull this off and buy a shit ton of Bitcoin, they would have been better off buying it probably a couple of days ago, down at like 88, not 95 or 97 tomorrow morning when we wake up or something. But anyway, yeah, all these companies, all the companies bought it up here, guys. Remember, everybody's buying it. It was at the top. That's why this thing kept running up here, because all these companies were becoming treasuries. Now they're going to get lucky and start breaking even, and then probably it'll run up there. But yeah, they should all just waited until it got down into like 80s down here and got it. But anyway, that was your Bitcoin. And that is what's going on with ASST right there. So we'll have to keep an eye on that thing and see what's going on. No one wants a reverse split. Always take a loss. That ASST, that I wouldn't touch it with them buying Bitcoin at highs this year is insane. That's what I'm saying, Michael Anthony. Well, we might be on the same page then, Michael Anthony, for once. I understood what you said. I didn't even need Luis Rodriguez's we didn't even need the translator today for that one. So I have to agree. ASST, they were buying Bitcoin. That's what all the companies were buying it at the top. It was insane. Remember, I kept saying I couldn't understand why they were all doing it, but they were. And anyway, that's ASST. They're doing a reverse split. They got like 3 things going on at one time. Yeah, I mean, the shareholders must have been exhausted. The board was exhausted after this meeting. They were like, oh my goodness, we got to talk about something else here. And now we got to do our 1 for 20 split. Let's vote on that, everybody. They were like, all right, just pull out the cots. We're going to sleep here. Holy cow, what a day. That's pretty wild, guys. I'm not going to lie. I mean, usually I don't see that much news on a penny stock in one day. I mean, a reverse split's usually enough right there. Some news and then a reverse split. This thing's buying Bitcoin, buying companies, buying reverse splitting, doing it all. So there you are. Think about ASST. We'll see what it does tomorrow. I have no idea. OSRH, this was one of our penny stocks we were looking at and cruising up a little bit slowly but surely there. Doge Mama 9. And SRXH right here, I think might have been another one, if I remember correctly. It certainly was. And it's just hanging. Look at this one. I think that SRXH might be a good one right there for our penny stocks. So take a look at that one right there. SRXH. Yeah, look at that thing right there, Michael Anthony. I know how much you do like penny stocks. SRXH, SRX Health Solutions looking pretty good off of that bottom right there. That's curling up looking nice. So keep an eye on that one right there. And Zim right here. I know Godfather mentioned this one. And let's see what's going on, why it was dipping. I think you just asked about it, why it was taking such a big dip. I don't know. But, guys, I would keep an eye on it for a possible bounce play right there. So maybe you touch that 20 or right below it right there. But keep an eye on this Zim right here. I don't know what's going on. I have no idea what the news was or if it even had news. And it does look like it's pulling back. And we'll just look. Israel injects. That was a while ago, so I have no idea. And there you go. What did he say? Let me see what else is going on. I'll have to come back and read Michael Anthony and everybody else's comments. Let me see what else is happening right here. So we looked at Fubo, OSRH, and Zim and Nix right here. This one, Stock Authority. I know you guys hear me mention him every once in a while. Stock Authority. He seems to think this one's going to get cruising now. Remember, we were watching it for a while, just kind of pulled back, had that little run up right there, then pulled back a little bit more. It doesn't look bad. I'll keep an eye on this Nix right here, NIXX. We'll see it tomorrow. It was running up today, as you can see right there, and some in the after hours. And it could get cruising right there. So you might want to not nix this one off your list. You might want to keep Nixie on there. So that's the staffing and employment one. NIXX right there. And we are looking at TE. And again, I mentioned this one. Ben he just mentions a couple in the morning when I hop on there. And I just go from the ones that he gives me because that's the idea of the show. And he mentioned TE. And I looked at it and I said, well, that thing looks like it's about to get ripping right there this morning. And I made that my number one, and bam, that and what I say, RCAT and TE, right? Sam, they were my number 1 and 2 right there. Is that what I said? Something like that. And yeah, I'd say they worked out pretty well. I'll tell you. RCAT, we had made number 1, and then I made TE my number 2 right there. So that's what we had done right there. And then TMDX was number 3, and that thing went smoking high. So look at that, guys. There you go. This was Ben's favorite right there, TMDX. Look at that thing ripping up there from all the way down here at 135. I mean, that thing went cruising all the way up to 150s, and it did pull back, but it still doesn't look bad right there. But still, you can still lock in those profits on the way up, that's for sure. So there you go with our top picks of the day, Sam. So I know you were enjoying that, along with everybody else. So it was fun in there. And let's see what else is happening right here with Michael Anthony. Speaking of the devil right here, ABEO, let's look at your couple right there. That's just a little bit of pullback. D'Lo pulling back a little bit more. We might have to watch for that to pull back, Michael Anthony, see if we want to play it. But LW, guys, what did I say? That was the one I played, right? There we go. I got options on it. And let's see. It looks like it wants to run there tomorrow, guys, or at least relatively soon for LW. So it's been cruising up there. And I think Rhett was a little impressed there because I told you guys this literally at the very bottom down here at 40. I said that bottomed out and LW is going to get cruising. I actually mentioned this in the Discord live trading as well. So there you go, Michael Anthony. I probably mentioned your name, but I don't really remember, but I'll give you credit for it because you did bring this to my attention. And like I said, I did like it up here. Now we're up a little bit higher. I bought some more when it dipped, and now we're cruising along, Michael Anthony, on our good old LW right there. So, and your UEC right here, that was running up early. I remember seeing it up first thing in the morning, right? Well, most of the day until 2, and then it came down there. So that is your uranium one. And that did pull back right there towards the end of the day anyway. So that is what UEC looks like. And let's go ahead and look at our Jolie jams. I still have not heard from Asian Jolie. Hope everything's okay with her. I guess we'll say that until we hear from Asian Jolie. So hopefully she contacts us soon and everything is okay. Rhythm right here. Let's see. Look at it. It's trying to get back into that rhythm. MSOS. Right here, dipping down a little bit. They didn't look too bad yesterday. The cannabis industry, Tilray not looking so bad right there. And canopy growth just kind of hanging out there. So a couple of them. Blink was really good yesterday. It was spiked up a little bit there and pulled back, nothing real crazy. And Sezzle just kind of hanging out there as well today. And let's look at Sterling because, like I always tell you, this thing loves to run, guys. And I think Sterling could run a little bit more tomorrow. So you might want to keep an eye on STRL right there because that could get cruising. And let's see what our good old Rivian, that's River North Opportunities, and that is not looking too bad right there. It just caught my eye, but it's a closed end fund, so we won't be looking at it. But anyway, let's take a look at Rivian. It was dipping down right there. It looks like it might be pulling back a little bit more. And Symbiotic right there pulling back. That thing was looking pretty good as well. And that is pulling back. Let's go through our laptop travel list real quick. I know you guys can't see it. I think he said he might have posted it out. I didn't really see. He said something. But anyway, you guys can jot it down. AGH is your first one right here. It's in that channel trying to move. NARTL, Artelio Biosciences. Look at that curling up right there. Laptop travel. Keep an eye on that tomorrow morning. That looks pretty good, I must say. BRN. That's at Barnwell, right? BRN, something like that. Barnwell. Yeah, there you go. Barnwell Industries. I'm telling you guys, I cannot remember anything. If you guys were listening to the interview right before the show with Neuro One Medical Technology CEO Dave Rosa, we were talking about all this stuff, and obviously Neuro One, it's the company that makes devices for your brain and neurological issues and seizures and things of that nature. You got to check this out. I've never seen anything like it. I obviously was doing my research for tonight, and I was looking at the website and watching the videos that they have on there. I was just completely blown away. And clearly, I understand the whole brain industry and or brain industry injury. I can't say injury. I keep saying industry. I understand the brain injury and also I guess the industry, but also anyway, I do understand that. So I was looking at this thing like, holy cow, this is crazy. And again, guys, I've made a tincture that helps prevent seizures. So I do know a lot about that, and that's exactly what this does. It does prevent seizures just in a way different way. This thing is top notch, unbelievable. I'm telling you, I was looking at it and I was kind of blown away by the medical device there. I think he said they had 17 patents, if I remember correctly. And yeah, pretty impressive. I'm not going to lie. And Laptop Travel is actually conducting a follow-up interview with the CEO at 1 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday. So that is tomorrow, right? Today is Tuesday. So tomorrow at 1 o'clock, the Laptop Travel will be talking to Dave Rosa. So there you go, Laptop Travel. So I think I know you were tuned in. I saw you tuned in there, paying attention and watching. So yeah, he was a great guy to talk to. Real easy interview, I must say. Very, very knowledgeable. I had a lot of fun, clearly, because I like these two, and them two subjects for me are quite top notch for me. Obviously, I used to do speeches at the cannabis conventions. I told you I used to go to the conventions, and before I had gotten hit in the head, and speak to medical professionals about properly prescribing medical cannabis to your patients. And also, I would talk about preventing seizures because I made a tincture that's been tested on a ton of people, guys. I have to bring on my buddy Bill Shue. He's an older guy. He has some health issues, but he'll tell you the most craziest. So I should bring him on here, or just I'll go to his house and interview him one day. I have to. Guys, you got to hear the story with his wife. She's since passed away, but it's absolutely amazing what we did with this tincture, and it was just fascinating. The doctors were completely blown away. They couldn't believe anything happened. Like, they just couldn't even believe it was going on. She was having epileptic seizures on a regular. They were really severe. They were like grand mal. They were getting pretty violent, and so yeah, I put a tincture together, guys. I literally did some studying, a little research, made my own tinctures, and I tell you, I make my own cannabis products. I always have been doing it for a very long time. I was making, holy cow, I was making edibles back in 2000, guys. Not even lying. In my 20s, I know for a fact. I was a chef. I used to make full out culinary meals with cannabis back then, so I was a little ahead of the game. And I've never stopped. I've been in the industry for the entire time. But yeah, I'll have to definitely talk to my buddy Bill Shue. Like I said, he's an older guy. He's my electrician. That's how I know how to do a lot of electrical work, is my buddy Bill Shue. a hell of an electrician. He's a military veteran. But yeah, I'll tell the stop. Have him tell. I'll hit him up tomorrow, and I'll have to see when I can stop by. Maybe over the weekend or something. I'll stop over, have him come by my house, and just get him real quick on like a 10-minute interview, real quick, just asking him. He can tell. I won't even ask him anything. I'll just let him tell the story about what happened with his wife and the tincture I made. I'm telling you guys, it blew away to complete like every medical professional around this area. They couldn't believe it. She was pretty severe, and I just literally stopped the seizures. And then he would notice when she would be about to have one, and he would like run for they keep this tincture near them, and he would pop that right on her tongue, and bam, it would stop it. Like he would say, it would be amazing. Her eyes would start rolling, and the next thing you know, it would just reverse, and then she would be fine. And this went on for over 2 years, guys, that she didn't have one. The doctors at first thought it was them and all the medicine they were giving her until we finally told them, and they were just blown away. They said, "What?" And they were like, "We were kind of surprised that the medicine was working so well." He's like, "Yeah, medicine ain't doing nothing." And he's like, "Yeah, ain't doing shit." So, yeah, it was pretty amazing. And again, I've seen a lot of results, and then as I would travel around the country and do speeches at the conventions, I would meet a lot of medical professionals that would actually be like, "Hey, send that out to me. I have a really severe patient I could test it on if you don't mind." So I would send it to everybody. No call. I would just send it out. I'd pay for everything. And yeah, they'd give me feedback, and it was pretty wild, guys. And I'm telling you, I'd seen patients from little like young children. So I made it so it's not even psychoactive. It doesn't even get you high, so it doesn't make you feel any way different or nothing. I mean, you have to take a whole lot of it. I think I've never taken enough of it to feel anything from it. So I've made it non-psychoactive, which is pretty impressive right there for one. So it can be used on kids, elderly people, even animals, I think. And yeah, it's just a tincture that I made and did all the extraction and everything myself. I do it all myself. So it's pretty crazy. But yeah, I'll tell you what, I don't think the medical community, besides maybe neuro on medical technologies with seizures, is not seeing any results. And if you listen to the interview, I kind of say it to Dave. I know the industry, probably not as well as Dave, clearly, but I do know it pretty well. And there's not many people putting a dent in seizures. I'll tell you that right now. It's one of them things that's extremely hard. You know what are the two hardest things? And I'll tell you, I had never had success with the second one, but seizures I had success helping with. But Parkinson's disease is a really, really tough one as well. That one of my best friends business partners for over 20 years, his dad has a severe case, and I tried almost everything, I think, and nothing. I mean, it's kind of crazy. It's kind of baffling to me. It makes me scratch my head and wonder, because I've had pretty good success with almost everything, with any kind of ailment. I'll say that, or anything else. And again, I'm not curing anything. Nobody is, but nobody's curing shit. It's all about quality of life and really making it just ease up and helping people really get better. Sometimes you'll see it go into remission, but you're not curing anything. I always know that nobody's curing anything. We all know that. And so, yeah, because the risk of it coming back is always there. You always have a 0.1 or 0.01%. There's always some kind of risk of whatever it is coming back, and or even the body getting used to whatever the treatment is. Sometimes that happens too, and then you got to figure out another method. So yeah, I've done a lot of research in that aspect as well, and talked to a lot of people. But yeah, what they're doing over at Neuro One is impressive. I mean, you're talking this really super thin. I don't even know what it's made out of. I don't think it's silicone. I'm not exactly sure. I know it says it in the video. I just kind of forget. But this thing has like neurotransmitters. It's crazy, guys, like electrodes. And it's like it can actually, it's like hooked up to a computer. They insert it into your brain, and a neurosurgeon can go in and pinpoint exactly what neurons and things of that nature, and like your synapses and everything, what's not firing. They can go in and pinpoint things and try to work on it. It's pretty impressive. I'm telling you, I was kind of impressed. Not something I'd probably get done for me, but I don't suffer from seizures. So maybe if that is the case, and that could happen down the road. I got hit in the head pretty damn hard. If you listen to the interview, I do tell my story to Dave because I figured he'd be pretty fascinated being in this industry, and he can't believe I'm alive. There's no anybody I tell the story to that has any idea in the medical community or even construction that knows that kind of logistics of jacking up a house with that kind of pressure and a 10-ton jack coming down and hitting you. You don't live. That's called a construction accident, and that dude died. Unfortunately, usually his head just exploded on impact, and yeah, that's called a major construction accident right there. That happens often, not that often, but it does happen. Somehow I lived. I mean, it was definitely my lucky day. I'm not gonna lie, it was a miracle. And I tell you guys a story. I tell you, the day before, I had went and visited my mom's. My mom passed away in 2016 from colon cancer, and obviously that's how she. I say to tell the story. She was one of the first 50 patients, and probably lower than that. I'd probably say one of the first 10 patients, but we'll say 50 just to play it safe in New Jersey to get the medical license back then. They just opened up, and they only had one dispensary. It was right around the corner from my house. It would just happen to work out perfectly. I could walk there if I wanted to. But anyway, yeah, my mom had the medical card and I had the caregiver card, and I used to make my mom's food with cannabis all the time, being that I've always made food with cannabis and know how to do it. My mom never even touched cannabis in her life before, and it was the only thing that would help her. And that's where I had said I've really tried to take it to the next level with helping people, because I honestly saw the difference that it made for my mom. And she had a really severe case of colon cancer. It was really rough. And so, yeah, it wasn't great. And so she would tell doctors it was kind of the only thing that would help her. And to hear my mom say that, she was really straight edge, clean, like didn't drink. I think she drank one time in her life, she said, and that was it. She really didn't drink. She might have like not even a glass of wine. She wouldn't even drink a whole glass. She'd have like 3 sips of it, and that'd be it. She'd wake up every morning, basically 6 days a week, and go to the gym early before work and work out. She was in kickboxing. She was healthy, and she ate real healthy, but she had Crohn's, a severe case of Crohn's, and it ended up turning into colon cancer. So yeah, it was kind of a rare one, and it was really rough. I'm not gonna lie, but like I said, she would tell the doctors that it was the only thing that would help her. And I would sit there and be like, oh, it's pretty fascinating. And I could tell when it would help her. I'm telling you, I'd make these dinners and it would be so concentrated, guys. My tolerance is really high. I will say that, okay? And I'd be eating dinner and be like, holy cow, I'm gonna like pass out. This is ridiculous. You're not supposed to consume this much. And it wouldn't even phase her. She would ask me like, hey, did you put anything in this? And I'd be like, holy shit. And that's how much pain she was in. But I would realize that, like she would say later on, like, hey, I'm not in as much pain. And I'd be like, wow, like that's the kind of dosage you need. That's pretty high. That's hardcore. Like I can't even consume that much. And that you're not even really feeling any of effects of it. It's just helping the pain, where I realized that was definitely a pain medication and worked way better than any of the pain meds like Percocets or Oxycontin or any of the other stuff. They'd put her on all the crazy stuff and morphine, seeing it, all of it. And so, yeah, she would say no to that. And then I would make these super concentrated meals for her because she realized that was actually helping her better than the pain medicines were giving her a lot of side effects and making it even worse. So it was just a non-stop crazy thing. So the cannabis helped and as long as it could. And so I had seen that happen firsthand, and this is back in 2016. New Jersey, like I said, was just medically legal at this point, and had one dispensary. And yeah, I used to make everything. And then I was said, after my mom had passed, I said, I wanted to continue doing that and helping people because I seen the difference it did for made for my mom. And I ended up owning a cannabis company. As a matter of fact, the craziest story, the guy that I was with when I got hit in the head, his cousin was my business partner for the cannabis company. And we just did it for a couple of years. We knew it was going to run. And we had the very first state certified lab in New Jersey where you could even do anything. It was pretty crazy. We were way ahead of the trends, always try to stay ahead of the trends. And we knew it lasted way longer than we even thought it would, to be honest with you. And we did pretty well with that. And yeah, so I constantly had a lab that I could go to and work at and do things and mess around. So yeah, I constantly was just tweaking things and talking to people. And then I started doing the convention scene and doing the speeches and meeting more people and then just sampling it out. And that's how it all started right there. So it was kind of interesting. And yeah, but yeah, it all started with my buddy Bill Shue and his wife. And that's how I realized that it really helps seizures. I had already been making this kind of tincture. I kind of tweaked it a little bit, thinking that it might help, and it definitely did. So, and again, it wasn't 100%, but it had pretty damn good results. I'm not gonna lie. I remember doctors would hit me up from around the country because then I would see somebody, send it out to them, they'd give it to a patient, they'd hit me up and ask for it again for that patient, but then they'd be like, "Hey, I have another doctor. Could you mind if I recommend them to you?" And I'm like, "Go ahead." I actually wanted to give it to as many people. And before COVID happened, I live in the Philly area. I had doctors at Jefferson and Penn that would send me patients. I've talked about it before. And basically when their cancer patients would get to a point, and I met these people through my mom mostly because I was there at the hospital a lot. And that's how I kind of met these guys, and they'd seen what was going on. And then I started doing consulting back then. And yeah, they would give my number to the patient and say, "Hey, contact this guy. He can help you better than we probably can with pharmaceuticals." And so there, I would go over and help patients. And I did that for a lot of people. So I actually got to test out my product and see a lot of different kinds of ailments and illnesses and cancers and things like that, and see how they would work. And that's how you really do it. It's trial and error. And I would love to get back into it, to be honest with you, now that I think my brain could function enough now. Obviously, I got hit in the head, so I couldn't do it for a little while. But now I'm starting to feel a little bit better. I'm not going to say I'm going to be 100%, but maybe I could still do it. I know I can still make my tinctures and do my thing. I didn't lose that ability. So, yeah, kind of interesting, fascinating story right there. But I've seen things that cannabis has helped people with that pharmaceuticals will never in a million years help people with. It's just a proven fact. But yeah, just fascinating things that I've seen. And just a kind of weird, crazy story, to be honest with you. But it all tied in, like I said, when I started doing the research on Neuro One Medical Technologies, NMTC, I was just blown away. I'm like, wow, this is crazy. Brain injuries and seizures. Wow, I have a little bit of knowledge. I could probably talk to the guy Dave for like 5 hours, to be completely honest with you. But so yeah, laptop travel. There you go. And but yeah, I had a great time talking to Dave. He was a great guest, and I'll probably talk to him soon. I told him to keep us updated. But laptop travel will be talking to him 1 o'clock tomorrow. So check that out. I'll definitely be tuning in to hear what you guys are talking about right there. And let's keep on cruising right through. So yeah, just a little sidetracked about that and the cannabis industry and stuff. But yeah, I think it's time to try to start dabbling back into it and helping people again. Because like I said, I helped a lot of people. It was crazy things that I was seeing. Doctors were just completely blown away. And then COVID had come around, and then you couldn't do anything anymore. You weren't going to these old people's homes and stuff. They basically weren't even getting help anymore, cancer patients, because of COVID. It was the most bizarre thing I'd ever seen in my life. And then it kind of fizzled out there. And then I got hit in the head. So that's how it all kind of fizzled out, was COVID. But yeah, it was kind of crazy. I was helping all kinds of people. Like I said, my phone would ring and it would just be like a random person, like, "Hey, Dr. So and so," I ain't gonna say their names, would recommended you, and I'm not sure what you can even do. He just kind of told me to call you. And I would try to explain to him, and they'd be like, "What?" And they'd be like, "Yeah." And I tell them what my situation. They said, and they'd be like, "And the doctor said you had a great you know example of how it worked out." So I would tell them what happened with my mom and all that, so that they would know that it was safe. And yeah, I ended up helping tons of people. So anyway, that's a little cannabis story for you, and how I used to do a lot of that industry. And I think I'm going to try to get back into it. Not that it's going to be tough for me to do. I know a ton of people in it, so all I got to do is kind of just start doing things again, and it'll all work out. People definitely trust what I economic stuff coming out. We had CPI today. We have PPI tomorrow. So core PPI, all that good stuff at 8:30. So we do have that coming out. We'll see how that what happens with that. And then we'll go from there in the morning. But, we'll be on at 7 a.m. How about JPMorgan and Visa and these guys? They got slammed even more today. Holy cow, look at that bad boy down. Visa down pretty good right there. It was dipping yesterday. What was that one you were looking at, Laptop Travel? It was, I know it's over here somewhere. I got to find it. What the heck is it? SYF. What did that? Oh, damn, that one pulled back. Remember I was saying I didn't know if it was going to bounce right back up there. I was saying that. And so, yeah, I think you do have a little more of a dip on that one right there. So SYF, I'll keep an eye on. I'll jump in with you. I just didn't really like that look yesterday, to be honest with you. That 20's coming down ready. That what I saw, and I'll just point it out to you guys so you guys can learn. That 20 coming down like that, I just didn't like that look, the way how it was curling down like that yesterday. And I just assumed I'd rather give it a day and see what it wants to do first. Maybe I got it wrong and it did bounce off that 50, because you could have an easy bounce. I had that green candle right there. But I was just playing the fact that I assumed that 20 was going to try to push it down. Now we got to see. It may make a base right here, and but it might try to dip down real hard. I don't know if it's going to spike down that much now that it just came through. We'll see, but I'll look at it tomorrow. When's the earnings report on January 27th right there? And obviously, like you said, Laptop Travel yesterday, you're basing it off the fact that you don't think Trump can impose 10% cap for all these companies. And that's why they're all dipping hard as hell, is because of yesterday and what happened. So that is why I think, and there you are, Trump's credit card cap could make most of industry unprofitable. Yeah, I think it would be crazy. I think it would be great for the consumers. Don't get me wrong. I think these credit card companies would get murdered because they probably have lended out all their money and some, and then have it all over the damn place. And they give their bonuses to the CEOs are giant. So they probably spend a ton of money that they couldn't afford to lose that much of a percentage. So that's what I would have to assume. And you guys know, once you start making that kind of money, your stockholders and shareholders, can you imagine if you cut that back from 20 to 10, you're like cutting it in half right there. You're going to cut the stock down in half, and that's what you're seeing. So I don't know if you're going to be able to impose that and if Congress is going to go for it. So I agree, Laptop Travel. Just let's find that bottom right there. And that's that whole industry right there, as you can see. So they did get slaughtered today. Look at JPMorgan down, Verizon. Didn't they have their earnings today or something like that? But yeah, even this MasterCard went down pretty big. So the only one looking good is Bank of New York. They had earnings too, right? That Bank of BK, is that what it is? BK right there. Bank of New York Mellon Corp. They had earnings. Yeah, they did. I guess they do pretty well. It's amazing that some of these banks do pretty good. Bank of New York Mellon posts record 2025 net income of $5.3 billion. Holy cow. Like, how did they make all their money? And other banks, like, do they just have good investments and the other banks have shitty investments, or do the other banks give out shitty loans and Bank of New York Mellon's like really strict with what their loans are? Does anyone under Laptop Travel? You probably understand that. What the heck goes on here with these banks? I mean, I don't understand how some of these banks do well and they like look great. Like this one looks like it's ready to get ripping right there. And then other banks are just horrible. Like, and they're about to go under, and it seems like the government has to bail them out all the time. You see, like, even Bank of America is like, I mean, look at this thing. It is kind of bullish right there. It's been going up, but look at that thing pulling back. That looks like it's about to dip down pretty good right there. What's TD? Yeah, TD is right there. Toronto Dominion. I was trying to think of its real name. It's not called TD Bank, but they're always talking about closing these things down too, and a bunch of them. So I don't know what goes on with these banks. I don't even understand it because, like I said, you can't even go to the bank now and get like $5,000 in cash. They have to like go and get it. So they have to go to the ATM and get it for you. It's kind of bizarre sometimes. Sometimes they have it, sometimes they don't. It's really weird. And then they hassle you and ask you like, what do you got to use it for? It's like, who the hell cares what I need it for? Just give me my damn money. That's why I have it. And it's kind of bizarre anyway. But yeah, I just don't understand how that one bank does so well. Some of these other ones do terrible and dip down real hard. I don't get that. But anyway, let's keep on cruising through. Let's see. So we were looking at our SPY. We were looking at our QQQ right there. They were pulling back. IWM right there, down a little bit. That doesn't look too bad, but it has had that good run up, so it could pull back. And let's take a look. I'm telling you what looks good is Apple right here. I said it before, and I said it today as well. They do have earnings at the end of the month right there, but Apple looks like it's getting ready to curl up and get cruising, guys. So keep an eye on that. It could be getting ripe right there. And Amazon is down a little bit after that run up, and Google's running up there some more. And I know Luis Rodriguez's leaps were probably way up. Meta was way down there today. Looks like it's coming down to that trend line. And Microsoft even came down pretty good to that trend line. So we'll have to watch that. That was trying to set up there, but not looking so great. NVIDIA hanging out. That does look like it's trying to, but I'm not so sure. We'll have to see what that wants to do right there tomorrow. And let me see what, of course, our Tesla is doing right here, TSLA. And it was down a little bit, but doesn't look bad. It's in the channel and just kind of, it could pull back a little bit. It's just kind of jumping around right there as it's getting set up. And Sam ran off to a guitar lesson right there. I guess your midlife crisis is to be a rock star. That's pretty hilarious there, Sam. Glad you enjoy your guitar lessons. That's pretty cool. What song were you learning tonight? Smashing Pumpkins. Today. That one's tonight. Isn't that what it is? Do. That one's real easy to play. There's a couple songs I can play on the guitar. Growing up, one of my best friends growing up, he was like, the dude was a guitar. I mean, the dude was so amazing. It was insane. He like picked the first day he picked up a guitar, he could just shred on this thing. He was just naturally amazing, and he was in bands. But we would like go to Sam Ash and I'm telling you, he would just pick up a guitar at Sam Ash and just cry. And even the like employees would be coming or guys would be coming like, dude, you're fucking crazy good. He could play anything. I mean, it was just wild. And so yeah, my buddy Phillips, rest his soul, he actually passed away recently. And but yeah, unfortunately, but yeah, he was, oh my goodness, the dude was just so good at the guitar. It was just crazy. I mean, absolutely bonkers how good he was. And like I said, it was just like anytime I hear guitar lessons or anything, this dude never took a lesson. I'm telling you, he picked up a guitar and he was just like naturally good. It was wild. He like started reading music within like 3 weeks. And the next thing you know, he could play like every song within a year. It was crazy. I just remember his cousin, who I'm very good friends with, was playing the guitar, and a couple of his buddies back then too at that time, and they were pretty decent. And my buddy Steve just picked up a guitar within 3 weeks. He just blew past all of them. They'd been playing for like a year already, and he was just that good at it, and just never stopped. He was just naturally amazing. I'd never seen anyone be able to pick up an instrument like a guitar, other instruments, yeah, but never necessarily a guitar, and just kind of be naturally good like that. It's kind of wild. So yeah, I've never seen anyone else be able to really do that. So yeah. God bless my buddy Steve. He was, like I said, my best buddy growing up. And so, yeah, just a guitar master. But we would spend a lot of time at Sam Ash. I know that. I remember that store all the time. We'd go and hang out there. And I was definitely not a musician, that's for sure. But I definitely enjoyed it. And like I said, I was always hanging out with my buddy and playing and just watched him learn like a million songs. Let's put it that way. And so yeah, he taught me like the most basic songs. I think it was the Doors. I know a Doors song. Which one is it? I can't think of it off the top of my head, but it's real easy. Smashing Pumpkins. There's a couple songs that are just so easy. Like you just put your finger in a couple spots, and if you can just play the strings enough, you could play them songs. And so I do know like a couple songs like that from my buddy. But yeah, he could pick up the guitar and play it. I'm telling you, he could do like Metallica solo, anything. He could just play everything and anything. And yeah, he was in like a bunch of different bands, like hardcore bands and anything. Yeah, he would play in like heavy metal band. He could just play every style of music. It was just crazy. And just natural, that's for sure. You don't see, like I said, you don't see people just naturally good at a guitar. You see people like musicians, they're naturally good at everything. He couldn't play anything else. He just picked up a guitar and was just great at it, and that was it. It was pretty crazy. I'd never seen anything like it. But anyway, there you go, a little guitar lesson story right there for you, Sam. Blitzwreck Bob, what is that? I don't even know what that is. It does sound like a song though. But there you go. Sam's out there learning some music, having a good time. Guys, maybe that's the key right there. Sam's been crushing the market. Maybe everyone needs to go out and get guitar lessons all of a sudden or something. Something's working for you, Sam. I'm telling you, you nail the trades almost every day. It's crazy. So good for you, and keep up with your guitar lessons. That's for sure. How about AMC, guys? Did pull back a little bit there. Still doesn't even look too bad, but again, we'll keep an eye on that. That was a great call the other day. GameStop, something's going on over here. You keep an eye on this, but I would say GameStop, we might want to watch that bad boy now. Just as we were watching AMC, I think GameStop might need an eyeball on it, so I'll be keeping an eye on it. I was watching it there today, and I knew it was getting to be in a good spot right there, so we will watch it. How about Chewy and Unity? Chewy is down a little bit, and Unity was down as well. I did see that one. It did kind of pop up there, but pulled back. Netflix right here, I'm telling you, this is a good opportunity. I think Netflix could be great right there. You might want to check that out tomorrow. We were saying in the anywheres in that 89.90 was a pretty good range right there. PSKY, that one's just hanging out right there. It's not doing a whole lot, obviously. And Warner Brothers right here, up a little bit, trying to get spiking up here. And I guess this Netflix deal might be going through sooner than later. So keep an eye on that. I don't know what the news is on that, but something's going on. AVGO up a little bit today. And how about MU dipping down right there and coming down a little bit? Looks like it could come down a little bit more. TSM and spiked up early, pulled back. SMCI down big today as well. Glad I just been watching it. I was keeping an eye on this thing. I know I've been saying it's getting set up. I was waiting for it to get touching the 20 right there, and thank God I just waited. Patience is what paid on that one. I'm not going to lie. I think before I probably would have jumped in like yesterday. And but yesterday I said, just wait another day. I don't think it's going to pop through the 20. And thank goodness I waited, because look at that, down 5% right there. That would have been a nasty one right there for an option play. That might have been slaughtered right away on the first day. So there you go. SMCI, I got lucky on that one, so we'll definitely be watching it. AMD was up big today, and looks like it's going to be trying to run up some more tomorrow. That could be a good play for tomorrow. Keep an eye on that one, that's for sure. AMD and QCOM right here is down some more, and Snow is down big. Look at that one, and that could be dipping down even more tomorrow, so keep an eye on that. Maybe we put Snow down tomorrow. That would be great. And PayPal right here still dipping. That was starting to look good the other day, but not so much. Intel still looking good, and that looks like it wants to run into the top for INTC. That's been on fire right there. And how about Dell pulling back right there? But it is getting set up. Look at this thing. Keeping an eye on this one tomorrow, too. I was keeping an eye on it today. Let's see. It was all over the place, to be honest with you. You can see it ran down. It was moving around kind of flat, kind of going up in the after hours right there. That's what I wanted to see, but we'll see how that opens tomorrow. And IBM right there was down pretty big after a nice run up yesterday. So keep an eye on that one. And what about our Palantir dipping? Yesterday was looking good. Today it's dipping down. And Sophie right here, SOFI, is up a little bit. This one's not looking so bad. And I think this one could try to roll off that MACD. Might only get to the 50 right there. So keep your eye on that little range right there. But you might get moving for SOFI. And Mara and Riot obviously looking good. They were looking good whenever these guys get set up like this. We already know that crypto is going to get rolling. They seem to set up right before crypto gets popping. I would say keep an eye on CleanSpark tomorrow and all them. Riot, Mara, they're looking pretty good. And let's see, of course, MicroStrategy is going to be looking hot. And look at that bad boy. That's running up looking great right there. So keep an eye on MSTR and Robinhood right here. That's going to get cruising. You know, Coinbase is going to be running right there. So these guys are all going to be looking pretty good tomorrow with crypto looking great. Bull should try to get moving. I don't know what the headache hold up is right here, but that should try to get rolling right there, I assume. I think it should anyway. It better listen to me, Bull. And Space right here pulling back a little bit. We'll have to see what that's up to in the morning. Boeing was up. I saw that today. It did break that resistance right there. DJT is up. It was, I meant to say it was down, but it looks like it's up. I guess I just happened to look at the green. I thought it was down today, to be honest with you, and it did pull back early. It ran up at the end of the day. I don't know if it's so still looking so hot right there. We'll have to look at DJT right now. In the morning, it does have an interesting look, I must say, hitting that 20 like that. So we'll have to look at that. Nike over the trend line, not too bad there. And what about McDonald's right here? McDonald's could be a great one for tomorrow as well. Usually when the market's not looking great, McDonald's usually does. Disney trying to look a little better there, been pulling back. Oxy looking pretty good right there. I'd mentioned this one today. This one could get rolling right there. It was trying to run at the end of the day right there, but yeah, we'll keep an eye on that one. And what is the other one? The United States oil. What the heck is it? Why can't I think of the United States oil thing? UOS? No, it's not that. USO. That's a United States Oil Fund right here. So we were talking about this one as well in the Discord. So there you go with that one. You can keep an eye on them bad boys and see what's going on. It looks like something's going to be happening in Iran sooner than later. Let's put it that way. And let's see what DXYZ is up to right there. It's pulling back a little bit. Nothing too crazy. ExxonMobil was up today and looking pretty good right there. So might want to keep an eye on that there tomorrow for ExxonMobil and them guys. And there you go. That's what they look like right there for the market. That's what our market closed like right there. And let me go through and see what you guys want to look at. So here we go. Let's go ahead and take a look. Luis Rodriguez, you got a nice little list right there with SEB, good old Seaboard. Oh, that looks really good for tomorrow, Luis Rodriguez. I got to jot that one down over here. SEB, that looks really nice. Holy cow. Looking good on the first one. ALB is at Albemarle or something like that. That's already run up there today. Specialty chemicals right there. That's why that ASPI looks like it wants to get bouncing back up, guys. Some of them guys look pretty good. And the chemical ones, like I said, look at that. ACMT didn't look too bad. That back right there, there's a couple of them. GPRE, that GURE's been way down there. Look at these guys. They look like they want to keep running these specialty chemicals. So keep an eye on them, guys. That's for sure. And ALB is one of these specialty chemicals. The other ones were just chemicals. But these ones are probably looking pretty good as well, I'd assume. And let's see. Yeah, I'd say most of these are trying to set up. We're already running. So, yeah, keep an eye on some of them like that. So I'll look at that. Whoa, that one looked good. What was that? E something. Where did that go? I thought I had an E. ECL. Oh, look at that right there. ECL looking. Echo Lab. They do make chemicals. I know that. And I know this company, but they do look pretty good right there, Echo Lab. So keep an eye on that right there. So there you are with them ones. Toyota Motor really strong. You were saying that bad boy was going to run up some more today. It certainly did. And your Madison Square Garden. What is up with this thing? I don't even know what's going on right there. But they need to I don't even know. It just cruising along. It's pretty wild. I can't believe it. How do I turn the transcript option on for videos, laptop travel? I thought I tried to do that. You got to walk me through that and tell me exactly how to do it there. So let me know how to do that. I know you sent me the thing, and then I ended up turning off everything and messing it all up. So I am not exactly sure how to turn that on, laptop travel. I may need you to like really walk me through. I may need screenshots for that one, laptop travel. I don't know. I haven't quite figured it out for some crazy reason. So give you some homework, I guess. No, I'm just kidding. CRDO right there, Credo. That looks real good to continue up there tomorrow. What is that one? That's a semiconductor. I couldn't think of what that even was. Semiconductor company. Obviously, that RCAT looking real good. We'll be looking at it in the morning. Oh, ETHU. This one probably looks good. Your 2 times Ether right here. Look at that bad boy, guys. That looks really good. ETHU. There's a lot of them looking pretty good right here. And wild. Let's see if it's going to get wild. Vista shares Animal Spirits. What the heck is this? It does look like it's going to get wild. I don't even know what that is. Vista shares Animal Spirits. What the heck is that? What do they do? I don't even know. What is this company? What does this ETF even track? Animal Spirits? I don't even know what that is, guys. But anyway, Luis Rodriguez somehow found wild. White was lighting it up before. Oh, this one could be good. That looks like it's setting back up, guys, to run. So LITE looks pretty nice right there. Huntington Ingalls was running. They had news or something, I think, at the end of the day, didn't they? There you go. Huntington Ingalls announces its mission Technologies Division, they got a defense order. Defense Agency Shield IDIQ contract, a scalable homeland defense vehicle with a total ceiling of $151 billion. There you go. So they've been awarded that, a place on the missile defense thing. So yeah, I did see that earlier. I skipped like something I didn't even realize, but there you go. Division has been awarded a place. So yeah, they have a place on the old defense with $151 billion right there. That's a total ceiling. It's a couple dollars right there they can have. So yeah, that did definitely go up. And Coinbase, we were just saying, should look pretty good to continue that way up. And BMNR looking pretty good right there and should run up. Bloom Energy, we looked at TTMI. Bloom Energy, not bad. TTMI, what's this? TTM Technologies. That was spiking up today. Not familiar with that electric component company right there, but looking pretty good. And Upstart, right? UPST, Upstart right there. That's not looking too bad to try to upstart itself again. OINS, not familiar with this one. What is that? OINS. Is that a typo? Could be. I don't even know that. Hive right there. We know this digital company, and that looks like it could be buzzing right there. And today it says Hive Digital Technologies announces a strategic joint venture with Paraguay's leading telecom operator to launch one of the country's first purpose-built AI buzz cloud platforms in a tier 3 data center in Asunción, somewheres like that, however you say that place, in South America right there. So there you go with Hive. And they used to be a crypto miner. Now all the crypto miners basically changed to AI data centers, which was probably smart. I think they're making way more money doing that. So kind of interesting that they are all in it for crypto mining. It didn't work out so well, but AI data centers worked out way better, to be honest with you. Kind of crazy, right? That's fascinating. And yeah, laptop travel helped me with that bad boy. So we'll turn that on. And here, I'll put this up on the screen, guys, since I didn't have it on the old on the list for you guys. That is your laptop travel list, so you guys can jot them down if you missed any of them. I'll leave it up there for a minute or two for you guys. How about GELS right here? Gels. That was popping up big in the after hours, and as a drug manufacturer, let's look at that over here, and that is GELS right here. Look at that bad boy. That does look good. You can keep an eye on that in the morning. SAFX. Somebody mentioned this on the old stock twits. I know right before I hopped on or earlier, I forget when it was, but I did see it. Who the heck was mentioning this? Why isn't my phone charging there? Who had mentioned this thing? SAFX. Somebody mentioned this thing. Oh, Papa Bullish. That's who it was. He said SFA. Oh, no, it wasn't. He just liked it. The Blackberry. That's who it was. The Blackberry on there. SAFX. He was the one, I think, that said it earlier. Yeah, he was. He said, hey, boss, keep an eye out for SAFX right there. So there you go. The Blackberry. If you're paying attention or listening to the show, there's your shout out. You did mention it earlier. I did give you that one. So SAFX, look at it busting up there, cruising along. It's running up in the after hours and looks pretty good. Has your 20 right there. Let me see. Your 20 right there, like 29 cents. So you should get to that with no problem right there. So if anybody needs that backup, just let me know. But there you are with your laptop travel list. And let's see. So that is SafeX right there. And what is it? It's a renewable company. Bank of America engagement for SAF facility financing triggered that one to rip today. So there you go. Keep an eye on that bad boy. And mRNA, is that Moderna? It certainly is right there. Moderna running up today. How about that? Is Pfizer running up as well? Pfizer not running up, but Moderna is. Look at that one. So I don't know what they did. Company gains approval for its COVID flu hybrid vaccine. Who the hell is getting a COVID flu hybrid? I just told you the story. Guys, ready? Let me tell it again. Bunch of new people listening, I guess. So anybody that heard the story the other day, I'll just tell it real quick about my mother-in-law. She's got all kinds of health issues, guys. She's on oxygen and all that good stuff. She recently went to the doctors and asked, hey, do you think I should get the COVID? And she's all about the COVID shots. They had them all. But again, they definitely have susceptible, immune systems and all that, compromised immune systems and all that good stuff. So they got the shots and all that. But anyway, so she asked her doctor, her main doctor, and he said, "Well, I don't recommend it, to be honest with you, but I will." And then she got the flu shot, and he recommended that, obviously. But the main doctor said, "No, we don't recommend it." And then went on further on to tell her that none of the people in the office were getting the COVID shots anymore. So she took it for that and then didn't get the shot. Then she went to her next doctor and asked that doctor, because she goes to a bunch of them, and she asked him, and he said, "No, I definitely don't recommend that. As a matter of fact, there's been a lot of blood clots, a lot of cases of blood clots that are really coming out that they've, are really thinking that, or they're pinpointing towards the COVID vaccine." So he said, "No, absolutely not. I don't recommend you get that." So that was two doctors, guys, that told my mother-in-law, who has a compromised immune system, not to get the COVID shot. What is Moderna doing right here? Why are they making a COVID flu hybrid vaccine? Who the hell is getting these things? And why are they even allowed to make that shit? I mean, I does anyone think, all right, you get a flu shot, right? You still can catch the flu. Clearly, you get a COVID shot, you're catching the COVID. It was supposed to be a COVID vaccine, guys. A vaccine means you're not going to catch it. But clearly, you could get the vaccine and tomorrow you could catch COVID. So clearly not a very good vaccine. Let's put it that way. But anyway, let's just say, hypothetically, who the hell is getting a COVID shot now? I think everybody knows that it's like getting the flu and you're perfectly fine at this point. And I don't think it's phasing anybody, even people with compromised immune systems. Like I said, the doctors aren't even recommending it. Are the doctors going to recommend this COVID flu hybrid vaccine? Unless all the doctors' kickbacks all gave out. I have no idea, guys. But I wouldn't say that was the case for these like local, your family doctor. They'll usually be kind of honest with you if you've known them for a really long time. And then when you go to two doctors and they both say the same damn thing, you're probably thinking, nah, it can't be a kickback situation. But yeah, I thought that at first. I was like, maybe their kickback stops. So they're just like, oh, well, screw the COVID shot. We're not getting paid for this now. So we ain't even going to go about that agenda. But no, I don't know if it's just that, guys. I think that they're really hardcore against it, and they rightfully so. So who is getting this thing, and why is this thing even shooting up on this news? That should be, actually, this should be shooting down. So there, take it for that. For Moderna, I wouldn't play it. But yeah, is anyone getting the COVID flu hybrid vaccine and listening to this show? You guys know how proud I am. I never let them near me with a COVID vaccine. They weren't coming anywhere close. I wouldn't even let them test me. I told you this the story the other day. I wouldn't even let them test me. We had a kid. Dougie was born during COVID. I didn't even let them test me, and I stayed at the hospital. They tested my wife. I drove her to the testing center. In the car, they tested my wife. I wouldn't let them test me, and they still let me go in the hospital, in the room and everything. Figure that one out, guys. So just tell me, how crazy was it? That was the craziest shit ever. Me and my wife are looking at each other like, this makes zero sense. They just jammed this Q-tip up your nose. They didn't touch me. And I'm going to sit in the same exact room as you. So I don't know. You guys figure it out. I have no idea. But yeah, I was hardcore. They weren't coming anywhere near me with that COVID shit. Not even the testing equipment. I was like, get away from me. I told you the other day, they're jamming people up their nose with that thing. I was like, get away. They were not doing it. So anyway, there you go. And let's keep on cruising through. And yeah, Bitcoin finally, Trump meddling with the Fed. We'll be bullish for Bitcoin and crypto. Yeah. And again, I don't see eye to eye with the whole Fed issue with Trump either. I was talking about that last night. I don't think it's a good look. I don't think it's a really good thing for the country either. And silver running up here, and we'll see. It had some resistance yesterday, and then that resistance went away. So I'm assuming that silver may want to go up higher tomorrow, to be honest with you. So keep an eye on good old silver right there. It is looking pretty decent. Yeah, it is looking pretty good right there. Let's look and see what gold looks like real quick. GLD right here. Oh, there you go. It ran back up in the after hour. So gold looking real good again. So there you go with that one. So keep your eye on gold. Maybe they go right back up to all-time highs tomorrow. That's a very good possibility right there with silver and gold. And we will be keeping an eye on our Cracker Barrel. And Zach, we were talking about Rocket Mortgage. And let's look at Adobe. Is in the, where is it? I don't even know. It's down in the gutter. Whoa, Adobe. Wow, you're down in the gutter. That falls 5% as Apple unveils a low-cost creator studio seen as a creative cloud rival. So there you go. And I'm telling you, Apple's getting ready to rock and roll, guys. So let's play it. I already bought options. I mentioned it in the Discord this morning. So if you're in there, you already knew I got options because I mentioned that. But there you go. And if not, you should be in the Discord because I'm telling you, it is a great time and we destroy it in there. And you'll know when I buy options for Apple. So there you go. AMPX, yeah, that one took a nice beating there. And the ATM closed on it too. So we should have yeah, you would think it would have ran right there. It's kind of interesting, I'm not going to lie. And Cracker Barrel should start going downside. That data this morning was bad. That a correction could be starting. And what data did they have for Cracker Barrel, Michael Anthony? I have no idea. Did they have data for Cracker Barrel this morning? I have no idea, Michael Anthony. Let me see. I don't see anything. What did they say? Are you talking about CBRL? Yeah, you're talking about that. I don't know. What did they say this morning? Data this morning. You're talking about the CPI data. Is that what you're talking about for them? I'm not even sure what you're mentioning right there. What are you talking about here, Michael Anthony? I'm not following you right there. It's not that I can't read it. I just don't even follow the question or what you're even saying. So there you are. I might need your translator, Luis Rodriguez. What the heck is he talking about? I'm not sure. Cracker Barrel should start going to the downside. That data this morning was bad. That a correction could be starting. So he's saying, I think that I guess the data this morning, the CPI was bad, and then we're going into a correction. I'm not sure if I'm following you, Michael Anthony, completely. I can read it. I'm just not sure if I'm 100% following what you're saying right there. But anyway, Adobe is the blockchain hole of a downward death. That's funny. That's what the translator says. And let's see. Sam, like I said, crushing it today. And let me see. Before you, we're talking about the Stream Deck. So anybody has this bad boy Stream Deck, I was showing you guys earlier, feel free to DM me and let me know how it works out for you. I'm going to set that bad boy up so we can start using that for the trading and the show, possibly, I think. So we'll be doing that. And bought Bud and Tap days ago. And you were talking about Bud on Tap right there. Bud was up today, looking pretty good. And Tap is Coors right here, Molson Coors. And that's not looking bad. They're pretty good. There you go, Michael Anthony. Good ones right there. If anyone wants to see, we can even understand that. Except he wrote AGO, but we do know that's days ago. So good buys right there. And let's see what else is going on right here. And Luis Rodriguez was saying, is this what it is? Expect Cracker Barrel to start trending downward now. The economic data released this morning was negative because of this. I believe a broader market correction and drop in this stock is beginning. And thank you, Luis Rodriguez. He had already translated that for me. Look at that. So there you go, Michael. That's what you meant to say. See, this is what you said. And this is what you meant to say right there. I'm telling you, Michael Anthony, you need to walk around with this translator. It would help you out dramatically. You could just be like, here, I'll type in what I have to say and then hit enter, and then it'll just come up and tell you the right thing to say for you. So we might have to get you set up with that bad boy there, Michael Anthony. It might help you out in life. And I can do anything. It's simply storing a series of commands. It certainly is. It's great. And the audio sound effects, we were talking about them. And that is the Stream Deck. So it can do anything. It's just storing a series of commands is all it does. So yeah, I got to figure that bad boy out. And the translation for the Bud one here, the time to buy Anheuser-Busch or Molson was days ago. If you're looking at them now, you're chasing the trade. The opportunity's already passed right there, Michael Anthony. That's what he would have said. And although I don't know about that, he might still have a little room on these bad boys, Michael Anthony. You could still be running up on them guys on Bud and Tap right there. So they could be still, Bud could still be on Tap. So just keep an eye on them bad boys tomorrow. And let's see, Doge Mama 9, how are you? And then we were talking about that MTNB. I was confused, but it was on Laptop Travels. Listen, Clean Spark, like I said, that could be a great one for tomorrow, guys. Keep an eye on that. CRM was down. That's Salesforce. And let's see. Whoa, what did I just Vanguard? I don't know. That's not Salesforce, that's for sure. But this is. Whoa. Wow, that's down, guys. That is seriously down right there. Salesforce. What happened to that? Exactly what happened. There, it happened again. I think that's like a double explosion right there. Holy cow, guys. What did that thing do right there? That thing went down, that's for sure. All right there, Adobe went down too, but Salesforce, I guess their sales weren't so forceful there, huh? Holy cow, that was dipping down pretty good. And let's see what else is going on here. I think I just scrolled and lost my spot. Where did I just go? Hold on. What the heck did I just do? Let me go back to the top here and see. Holy cow, I think I lost my spot. Here we go. Let me see. We were talking about all that stuff and translations and that. And then CRM. Here we go. All right, now I found it. So yeah, this Salesforce not looking good. Path went down too. So Path was another one that took this path. We were looking at it earlier. And yeah, Path definitely took a little dip right there as well. So we can tell you that they did this as well right there. Oh, man. Come on, Path. He certainly blew up too there today. So there you go. Remember, we were talking about this a couple of months ago, a potential new trend where treasury companies merge to strengthen their Bitcoin holdings. We were saying that, as a matter of fact, and that's what ASST and that other one's trying to do right there. That's interesting, Luis Rodriguez. And let's see, Pepsi and Mo and Co., which is Coca-Cola. You gave us that the other day. Pepsi is cruising up there. Like I said, I mentioned that I own a ton of it because I have that's my dividend right there. I don't make enough to make any. I don't have enough to make that crazy of money, but Altria, you were talking about that one too right there, that tobacco company. Good call, Michael Anthony. And Coca-Cola right here, not looking bad. And your like I said, your LW down here looking pretty decent too. So there you go. You definitely gave us all them, that's for sure. And you're making $1,000 by buying Lat Week that I can sleep while shares keep climbing. There you go, Luis Rodriguez. I'm gonna guess that's last week, but I like Lat Week too. Lat Week's always a good week in our lives, Michael Anthony. So is that when you do your lats? Lat Week. That's when he does his lat workout. Michael Anthony, there you go. You should make an AI picture of Michael Anthony there doing lats on his computer with his translator next to him. That would be great. So there you go. And the penny stocks are always being pumped, the chance of getting halted or all that good stuff and sold off. Yeah, definitely, Michael Anthony. That's why we say get in, get out, take your profits, and get rolling there. HRL, what's that one? That had a nice move there today. It is Hormel Foods. That's a food company right there. Package, like I said, these packaged ones are looking pretty good. You can cruise through. ABVE dipping down. That one's been down a while. That's at A-Gape. We were just looking at that not long ago. That one was BioHarvest. There's one of them I saw that was BRCC. I think that was the one trying to cruise along there. There's a couple of them looking pretty good, so you keep an eye on them bad boys right there. VG, what is that one right there? Why I keep scrolling so much right here? I keep going flying. VG. That is Venture Global. That does look pretty good there, Michael Anthony. You could have upside to into the nines. Yeah, that does say 940 something. So yeah, that could get cruising right there. And let's see, Doug, pay attention. Last week I explicitly recommended Pepsi, MO, and Coca-Cola, along with several other. Since I gave you those picks, they've been consistently climbing in price. That is so funny. Like, Luis Rodriguez, that is the greatest. I'm telling you, it's so dead on the money right there. Michael Anthony needs to have this in his life. And then he continued, all of them are winners. Furthermore, I believe PepsiCo, good old PEP, specifically still has more upside potential from here. So there you go. Michael Anthony and Pepsi should have upside. And then right after that, holy cow, Luis Rodriguez, are you kidding? Look at this. Read that. All of them are winners. Furthermore, I believe Pepsi specifically still has more upside potential from here. You wrote that at 8:45. Michael Anthony, a minute later, Pep should have upside to 152 to 153. Is the reason bought in the lows make $1,000 each day. How great is that there, Luis Rodriguez? You definitely translated even better than him and even said exactly what he was going to say a minute before him. That is impressive there, guys. How great is AI and that bot right there? That is hysterical. I love it. Anyway, there you go. And then MTC, we were talking about that. Obviously, that is at Noro One Medical Technologies. I just interviewed the CEO, Dave Rosa. So if you didn't hear that, definitely go check that out. And Laptop Travel will be talking to him tomorrow at 1 o'clock. So I'll be tuning in to hear what Laptop Travel has to ask. And PED, book value of 125, had small move today. And that is a good old Pedvecco or something. Yeah, I'm familiar with it. I know you mentioned it before. Oil and gas not looking too bad. And let's see, NMTC did an offering in April and only $6 million cash. And does anyone know the debt? But I'm staying away. As a matter of fact, they had 4 million shares warrants that like expire tomorrow right there. I'm not sure how much cash. I didn't even ask. You know who's going to ask these questions tomorrow? Laptop Travel. Who asked them questions? There are questions for Laptop Travel. You know what I asked Michael Anthony? I asked how the guy like got into like brain stuff and then I just asked him if he like had a. You know what I asked him? I asked him since they did 3 times their year over year from this year from last year, 3 times in revenue. I asked him if he had a killer Christmas party is what I asked him, and he started cracking up laughing, and he said no. I basically get him pizza. So that's a CEO spending money wisely. Let's put it that way. And he said that he tries to spend the money wisely. He said it at the very beginning, and then I asked that at the end. So yeah, they're the questions I asked Michael Anthony. If you want to get deep diving into a company, really know what's going on, I asked if they had a killer Christmas party. So there you go. If you want to know what I asked the CEO, you were on there, so you were listening anyway. And let's see what else is going on. Sam was jamming out there tonight at guitar lessons. And VICI right here. Let's see what VICI is doing. VICI Properties right there, just kind of chilling out. Let me see. It may have been going up here in the after hours. It's not looking. It's just kind of hanging out. I'd have to look at it tomorrow there. Who put that up? Michael Anthony. I'd have to check that one out there tomorrow. Watch the YouTube video on how to turn on transcriptions. All right, let me jot that down, guys. Give me 1 second. How to turn on transcriptions. Thank you, Laptop Travel. I will do that after the show. I'll figure that out. I know I tried to go in the other day. I screwed it all up. And then I'm just going to do the show like this because I think it's easier for everybody to chime in, and I don't have to go to the X account and look at that, and everybody can just come to one place and then easy. So that's not a problem. So we'll do it like that. But obviously any interviews, if we're going to talk to any of the CEOs, I'll set them up early so we can promote them and everybody knows that that's happening. So there you go. That's how I'll do it. But I am glad Mo, I appreciate Mo. He's the man. He showed me how to set up the old the X things, the streams early through StreamYard. That was really cool. I had no idea you could even do it, to be honest with you. So that was nice, Mo. Thank you for showing me how to do that. And we will I'll do that for all the interviews. So that works out perfect. I like it. And let's see, Wild, the ETF selects stocks based on animal spirits, which is what? I don't even know what that means. Let's see. A term used in economics to describe the psychological and emotional factors like confidence, fear, or excitement that drive. Oh, really? I had no idea. I just learned something new, guys. Here you go. Animal spirits is a term used in economics to describe the psychological and emotional factors like your confidence and fear or excitement that drive investor action. There you go. You guys can tell I'm not trained by anybody. I didn't go to school for economics, that's for sure. And I've never even heard that term, animal spirits. I didn't even know what you were talking about, Luis Rodriguez. So it does say it right here. I didn't know what the heck it was, but there you go. Now we know what animal spirits are. Thank you very much, Luis Rodriguez, for that insight. And essentially, it targets companies with the highest buying momentum and retail trader sentiment. That's interesting right there for sure. It's pretty new. It just started in June, so it's not like we've known about it for a while, but it does look like it's about to get wild, guys. I don't know. I might have to jot this one down. I think I already wrote it down, but let me just make sure I don't forget about our wild right there. Now that I know what animal spirits are, everybody found out what animal spirits are. So thank you very much, Luis Rodriguez. And there's a meme stock ETF. It's meme. I did know that one was out. I didn't know about wild, but I knew about meme. And this one, yeah, this one just came out too. And that's looking all right, I guess. It's not too crazy right there. Which ones does it follow, though? Like, does it follow certain ones laptop travel, like AMC, GameStop? Like, how do they figure out all the meme stocks it's going to follow? That's my question. So, do you know that answer? Look at Coke. Are you talking about KO right here? Coca-Cola, or are you talking about COKE, which is, wait, they have both? Wait a second. I didn't even know Coke was that consolidated. What the heck is that? I always just knew this one, KO. I didn't even know they had COKE too. I didn't even know they had Coke. They really do have Coke, huh? I had no idea. They used to make it with Coke. They really do have Coke on this thing. They have COKE, Coke. I didn't even know that was a stock ticker. That does look really good. Holy cow. That looks way better than this Coke right here. If you're going to be doing Coke, guys, I would say do this Coke right here. COKE. That sounds a little crazy. I don't want to get flagged for anything nutty. We're talking about Coca-Cola. If you're going to do some Coca-Cola, I would say COKE Coca-Cola right here is the non-alcoholic beverage. Obviously, it's a soda, and it is looking pretty good. Look at that thing curling up, looking pretty decent right there. We might have to be looking at that COKE right there, trying to get me in trouble, Michael Anthony, talking about Coke on our show. That's wild right there. And, but yeah, I didn't know there was two of them. I had no idea that was even a stock ticker for one, and that it was Coca-Cola Consolidated Inc., which I have no idea what that even means. Is there two different Coca-Colas? Like, did they break it into two? I have no idea. It has to be, right? This is Coca-Cola Company, and then this is Coca-Cola Consolidated. Which one does, like, one of them deal with like the food or something? Like, don't they have like snack company? I have no idea. What the heck is this, Michael Anthony? Someone explain that to me. I have no idea what the difference is between the two Cokes right there. I didn't even know it happened. But anyway, you didn't think the meme stock was anymore, and that MEME's right there. It was running there today, I think, right? Yeah. I don't know which ones it follows, but it is around. And why you look at trades that is over, that will be dropping tomorrow. Luis Rodriguez, what the hell was he talking about? Holy cow. Oh my goodness. We definitely need the translator for that one, Mike. What are you talking about? Why you look at trades that is over? They'll be dropping tomorrow. I don't even know which one he's talking about, guys. Did you look at earnings after the close to watch the run or dip? Which one are you talking about here, Michael Anthony? I'm not sure. You got to fill me in what we're talking about. And look at CVI. Weren't we just looking at it? Somebody was just talking about this CVI the other day, right? Wasn't it dipped down or something? Oh, yeah, it's been dipping down right there. That does look pretty good. I had it on the list yesterday, I think, CVI. Not on the night note. I just remember having it written down on a list because we were looking at, you probably mentioned it there, Michael Anthony. CVI, that is looking pretty good, I must say. So I'll keep an eye on that. You said Cracker Barrel's falling, staff getting laid off. So what are they up to? That's what I'm saying. Here, Michael Anthony, you want to see a dead ringer right here? This is why the stock's going up. Ready? You're on the money, Michael Anthony. I'm not going to disagree with you. I'm just going to prove your point and say it a little more, a little better for you than CBRL, the Cracker Barrel staff, getting laid off. So what are they up to? It is very well said right there, but I'll just show you something right here, Michael Anthony. So when you start cutting your corporate staff like they did the other day, Wall Street loves it. The stock will run. I know I mentioned it the other day. You will get a pop. Trust me. They are cutting costs. People and investors love that shit. For whatever reason, they think it's great. But at the same time, why are you cutting corporate staff? You won't cut your corporate staff if it's not a necessity. If you're not trying to save money and trying to like save your ass from bankruptcy, guys, I'm telling you, what is happening here? Michael Anthony picked up on it. I'm telling you, and I'm telling you guys, look at that stair step. Look at this, Michael Anthony. You love patterns. Look at this thing right here. Look at that. It went green, green, red, green, red, green, red, green. It's the exact same candle pattern. And when you see something like that, you know red flags are going off all over the place. I would say it's popping tomorrow. Just follow that pattern right there. You should get a jump up. And as the 20 and 50 meet. And then I think you're coming crashing down, guys. That's my opinion right there. We'll see what's going on, but I don't think they got it under control right here. That's just what I think and what I see on the charts. And you guys know I base everything off of the charts, but you know what I've been saying about it. So interesting, Michael Anthony. But yeah, I picked up on that the other day too. I did say that when you start cutting your corporate staff, yeah, Wall Street loves it. The stock will rise, but that is not a good sign. So you're cutting the people that really run the company. It's never a good thing. You're better off selling franchises or something. Like get rid of a store before you start cutting all your corporate people, because I doubt they have the corporate staff that they're like, oh yeah, we have so many people that we're like overrun with staff here, we don't know what to do. They probably just have enough to make the company run right, and now you're cutting them people that are going to try to make the company run right. That's not ever good when you're in an area when it's not looking good for you guys. So they're the people that you probably don't want to be cutting right now, but you have to. So just a little insight to what I see. And again, I don't look at fundamentals much. That just was a red flag to me when I was reading the news. And remember, I said, what the hell happened to make it pop up like that? And I said that the other day, and I've been saying it since. Wall Street loves it. Just be careful. Play the pops, obviously, that's for sure. But beware is what I'm telling you. So there you go. And we'll see. Maybe they can turn it around. I don't know, but it's not looking pretty. We were talking about play. That's Dave and Buster's right there, Michael Anthony. Not too bad. It just has that resistance right above it, but it's not looking so bad. So we'll have to take a look at that one tomorrow. And let's see what else is going on. Play. You didn't see that. Is those in the chat? Why are they so Doug? So why are they? What does this say? Why are they down since you noticed them down? Which ones are you talking about there, Michael Anthony? I'm not exactly sure which one you were talking about. When you ask about one, just write the stock ticker before, because sometimes we cruise right through and then I don't know what the heck you're talking about. I don't understand what you're talking about half the time, but at least if you put the stock ticker, the one you're mentioning, I'd probably get a pretty good idea. We could figure it out, I bet. Anyway, so yeah, let me know. Yeah, this HRL was running up. That's a packaged foods. We looked at that. And let's see. Yep. Already have your questions lined up. Lots of financial and FDA questions. There you go. See that, Michael Anthony? Like I said, Laptop Travel follows up the interview. It's actually like a perfect order right there. And I believe Ben is going to interview Dave on Friday, I believe. So all this interviewing Dave, getting a good idea about Neuro One Medical Technologies and seeing what they're up to. And we all have a different style. We all ask different questions. You guys know that. I don't even really care about the technicals or fundamentals, I meant to say. I definitely care about the technicals. I don't necessarily care about all the fundamentals and how much money the company has. I kind of look at it all right based off the stock chart. I always say that. But but Laptop Travel, he's the one that's going to ask all them good questions. And Ben, they're interested. They follow that stuff. And I always make it clear right off the bat. I just look at stock charts. But we can always have a great conversation. I know I'll ask you about your Christmas party and all kinds of crazy stuff that you're probably not even thinking about, because my brain's scattered all over the place and everything's fascinating to me. So I can keep it kind of interesting, I think. I think that was a great conversation, though, Dave and I had this evening. So if you did check out that interview tonight, Neuro One Medical Technology CEO Dave Rosa, you could check that out. It was right before the show. It's on YouTube and all that good stuff there. And anyway, and Laptop Travel, let me just give you a quick heads up real quick why I'm thinking about it, because I didn't realize when you're done the stream tomorrow, go back into the Studio X right there and end the stream. I didn't know that you had to do that. It didn't make me do it yesterday for my regular stream, but then today's it wouldn't end. I hopped back on and it was still up, and I came in and I was like, it's definitely not on. I ended the stream like twice because I went back into it a second time, ended it again. It was still up there. And then I realized I was like, wait a second, I probably have to go in this thing. So just giving you a quick heads up there, Laptop Travel, because I know you have the link already set up. And so yeah, if you have any questions, just remind me to tell you if you're not sure what I'm talking about. But just wanted to throw that out there before I forgot because I just thought of it. So sorry everybody, but a little behind the scenes stuff that I just wanted to give Laptop Travel because I couldn't shut off the stream. I had no idea. I'm like, why isn't this not turning off right now? But yeah, thank you to everybody that tuned in, and I did find that interview a lot of fun, a lot of good stuff on my radar anyway. You guys know that. And let's see what Luis Rodriguez said here. Coke is twice the price than CO. Yeah, I don't know what's the difference between the companies. That's what I'm asking you. It's got to be the same thing. Let's see. Stop quoting that corporate marketing nonsense about management screening. The simple fact that you need to know is that Coke, COKE, trades at double the share price of the parent company, KO. That's all you need to know. And so this one's double the price at 150 something, and then this one's in the 70s for whatever reason. They're both running up right there. I mean, they just have different setups, which is kind of odd. And this one you can see is getting curled up, set up, but the other one has momentum going. So there you go, right there for Coke and Coke. And I had no idea there was two of them. And it says, Luis Rodriguez said, Cracker Barrel is laying off staff. What exactly is management up to? I suspect this is a sign of deeper trouble or a major restructuring, and we need to understand the fundamental reason behind the cuts. I agree right there. That's exactly what I was saying. You were on the same page. We were all on the same page. And I think even Michael Anthony picked up on it. I know I said it the other day when I saw that. And I said, that's always a red flag to me. If you're cutting corporate guys, again, just think like the business owner. You're not cutting your corporate staff. They're the people they're your glue. They hold it all together. They're the people that the owner sees and the CEO. They're your corporate staff. They're the people when you go into the office that are doing everything for you. If you ever had an issue with them, you would just fire one at a time and get rid of them or replace them or do whatever you had to do. You wouldn't be laying off staff. Let's put it that way. Your corporate staff. You're laying off corporate staff because you're in a shitload of trouble there. And that's from what that CEO did. She wrecked the company. And I've been saying it for how long? And yeah, you're going to get these pop-ups. Don't get me wrong. But again, keep your eyes and be ready to sell them pops and watch it dip because I think that's what's in store for it. So that is our Cracker Barrel talk right there. Let's go through our news stories real quick. I didn't realize it's already 10 after 10. I've been talking a lot tonight, I guess. We're talking about cannabis companies, guitar lessons, all kinds of fun stuff. So it's always just not stocks here and crypto, which is beautiful right now, obviously. Look at that crypto heat map. That's a beauty. Yeah, we don't just talk about that. We talk about everything, things in life. We even talk about health stuff. Everyone's still drinking their Himalayan salt and lemon juice. I've been killing it lately. That's empty again. I've been crushing these things. I think it tastes so good. I don't know what it is. I really hoping I go for blood work and my blood work looks better. It would be quite amazing. I'll be way amazed. I might be more amazed about that than me surviving getting hit by the 10-ton jack with the pressure of a 2-story house. I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, we gotta check this out. And I'm definitely gonna drink more water for another week or two and go get my blood work. I'm telling you, I'm really feeling pretty good, I must say. I don't know if I look any better, but I definitely feel pretty well. After it's been a week, right? I think it's been a week. My sister probably came over Tuesday last week, I think, if I remember correctly. It was either like Tuesday or Wednesday when she came over and told us that great story. And yeah, I'm telling you, it's definitely if you're not trying it, give it a try, guys. I'm telling you, the first 2 days, I don't know, is everybody I don't know, my gums were like I drink that Himalayan salt with the lemon, and it felt like it was like making my gums blow up or something. And it happened for like the first 2 days, and I was like, well, it'll definitely go away. I don't know what the heck that was about. That was kind of weird. But then after that, I'm telling you, everything seemed to be going right back into place and be totally normal. I don't know if anyone else experienced that. I didn't even ask my sister or my wife, but yeah, definitely been drinking it and feeling pretty good. So I'll go get my blood tested. We'll see what the results are if this stuff really works. But I can't say that I don't like it. It tastes really good too. I mean, the lemon juice with the salt, a little bit of Himalayan salt. I don't even taste the salt, but it definitely tastes good. I've been crushing mad water, like more water than I usually drink. Let's put it that way. So anyway, I would say that alone, maybe that's the key right there, guys. Maybe you just like drink more of it because it has some salt in it and it tastes good with the lemon juice. So you just start drinking like tons of water. I have no idea. I don't get it. Like I said, I told you guys the story last week of my sister. So I have no idea, but I'll be checking it out and seeing if it makes any difference. Michael Anthony, I was talking about last week. Those of you just tuning in here and don't know what the heck I'm talking about, let me just give you a quick rundown. Last week, I think it was last Tuesday, my sister came over to cut my hair, and I was just telling you, she walked in the house, and I was like, wow, I see her like every 3 weeks. She cuts my hair all the time. So it's not like I haven't seen her in a while. I just saw her. And she came in, and I was like, wow, she looks a little thinner, and like her face looked better. Everything looked kind of better on her. And my wife thought the same thing. And she came in and was like, oh, yeah, I lost 21 pounds. And this is in like 3 weeks, guys, because I just saw her. I'm telling you. And she was like, yeah, I had to go to the doctors. And then they had told me, I needed to go on medicine for blood or for cholesterol and all this stuff. And then I had to go back in like a month or whatever. And she's like, the only thing I did different, and I told you, she eats like a beast. I mean, she eats at midnight. She eats taco. She eats whatever the hell you put in front of her, and all of it. I'm telling you, I was telling you how much she eats, and she's perfectly fine with me saying this. And like I said, she's never been heavy in her life, but so yeah, she says, she's like, I'm not dieting. She's definitely not exercising. And all she says is she's doing is drinking ice water. She does put ice in. I don't like ice in my water, but I don't think that makes a difference. It's just frozen water, so it doesn't matter. Ice water with fresh lemon juice. So get a lemon, squeeze the lemon in there, and a pinch of pink Himalayan salt. And so yeah, I started doing it. I think a couple other people actually started doing it. And I'll tell you what, I've been doing it for a week now. And like I said, the first 2 days, I think my gums just felt weird. I don't know. It was like kind of strange, like almost like toxins were coming out of me or something. I don't know. I just went with it because it felt like it was definitely going to be better. And then, yeah, it's like, I mean, it wasn't anything gross. It just felt weird. I don't know. It just like felt like something was like my gut. Like, I don't know. I can't even explain it. But anyway, I would say I feel pretty damn good. I've been drinking a ton of water now, like way more than I usually do. So, like I said, I don't know if that's the difference, but my sister, that's all she drinks. Like, she doesn't drink soda or anything. She said that's all she drinks all day, every day. So, she made zero difference except putting a pinch of Himalayan salt and fresh lemon juice. And she said she had read that or looked it up or something and found it somewhere. I have no idea where she saw it. But anyway, that is what we're talking about. And yeah, the Himalayan pink salt experiment. But what is in that glass? Oh, it's empty. That's what I was showing you. No, it's empty. Look, it's completely empty there, guys. That's what I was showing you. It's empty. Look. Hey, that's empty. I just crushed that water like it was not. I just filled it up before the show. I drank some. I didn't know I had to fill it up. I didn't drink any when I did the interview. But yeah, I just crushed that thing. It was totally filled, and I just drank that whole entire thing. So yeah, that was a full glass of water with Himalayan pink salt and the and lemon juice, and yeah, it's all gone. So there you go. I'll go fill it back up. I'm telling you, I've been drinking a ton of it. It's kind of crazy. I'm not gonna lie. I usually don't drink. I mean, I drink water, but not like I have been. So I don't know if that's the difference. But like I said, my sister said she always drinks that much water. So I'll go get tested. I'll get my blood work tested and see. Like I said, high cholesterol runs in my family. My grandmom's, my dad's mom, it was so high. Her triglycerides and all, they were so high. They didn't even know how she lived that long, and she lived until like our 80s. So I was like, it's all hereditary. I'm not going to stress about it. Stress will kill you before the cholesterol, I think. So anyway, but then my sister went back, got blood work, and they told her all of her levels were normal, and she had lost 21 pounds, and all she did was drink Himalayan. All she did was drink this water with Himalayan pink salt and fresh lemon juice. In 3 weeks, she lost like 21 pounds, and her levels went back to normal. It's kind of crazy, guys. I'm not gonna lie. And like I said, me and my wife were just looking at each other like, how the hell does Leslie look so good? Like, what the hell did she do? We just saw her 3 weeks ago, and she didn't look like that. And again, she's not heavy, but you could just tell she thinned out. Like any extra water weight or anything, it was gone. And she just looked like real healthier than she's looked in a long time. So I don't know. It's weird, but like I said, I've been drinking it for like a week now, and it's pretty damn good, I must say. So I'll probably continue, but yeah, I'll definitely go get my blood work, and I'll let you guys know. So yeah, we don't just talk about stocks on this show and crypto. We talk about drinking water with lemon juice and pink Himalayan salt, and then cannabis tinctures and all kinds of good stuff. So what a crazy show we just had, I must say. And I would say we'll keep it wrapped up right there because it is getting late. What is it, 10:15? And Michael Anthony, he wants to look at some more stuff. So let me just check it out, and then we'll say goodbye. PKE, Park Aerospace Corp, right here. What did they do? Was earnings after the close? I don't see anything. It doesn't have an E right there, so I don't see anything, Michael Anthony. So I'm not real sure. Let's see if it's over here. These ones could have already been. PKE. Well, it does say it right there. But I don't know if they did report or not, to be honest with you there, Michael Anthony. But I think tomorrow we start seeing some more. That's not going to help us. That's the daily charts. Anyway, yeah, I think tomorrow we actually start to see more of the we start all the banks this morning, like JPMorgan and stuff like that. They were reporting this morning. So earnings season's kind of kicking off right here, and we'll be seeing what these catalysts can do for us and if the market wants to run. So obviously, it's a weird spot right there. Your SPY did finish down right here. That's not your SPY, and that is not either. This is your SPY right there. It did finish down right there. And it could go either way tomorrow. And same with your Qs right there. I mean, they're in an interesting place. That's why I put my red flag out yesterday. You can see why. And again, I just still watch the market in the morning. We'll go from there. We'll look at it at 7 a.m. We'll see how it wants to get cruising there. And then we'll be on at 9 a.m. or, Ben will be on earlier, but I'll be on at 9:15 in the Discord, and we do our live trading then. So we'll have to address the market in the morning, see what it looks like. You got gold and silver running back up. They did take little dips today, and then they're running right back up there. So that's a decent look right there. They look like they're going to go back to all-time highs. So silver's already there, but gold's going to run straight back up there. And some other ones are popping up, and obviously Galaxy and all your crypto-looking ones, BMNR and CLSK and them guys, all looking pretty good there for tomorrow. So we'll look at it all tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Let me just hit the news stories real quick, and then we'll wrap it up right here. The reason Pike is moving right now is simple. They reported their quarterly earnings, though. They did report after the market closed today, and so there you go. Luis Rodriguez said they did. I just spilled out that little drip, and I'm trying to drink a drip of water there. That's pretty funny. But anyway, Asian shares advance, led by Japan. The yen weakens. U.S. stock futures steady as bank earnings roll in. Tariff ruling looms. Oh, yeah, we might get the tariff ruling tomorrow morning, guys. That's the next time it can happen. So, we'll be talking about that tomorrow morning as well. The good old tariff's going to happen. It's not a definite. It's just the next time. And I meant to look and see what the schedule is for the Supreme Court because I had no idea. I just figured it just was every Friday or something. But they did it Friday. They didn't talk about anything. Tomorrow's the next opportunity. We'll see what happens. And stock futures, that just changed on me, huh? Well, this one, stock futures are flat as traders look ahead to more bank earnings right there in the stock market. Sugar high is starting to fade, why it could be a slow grind higher from here. So there you go, guys. That's what the news says right there. That's how the market ended right there. And that's what we're looking at. And, of course, crypto is looking really, really good right there tonight. So we were all over that bad boy as well. So thank you, Luis Rodriguez, and your translator, and Michael Anthony, and of course, Laptop Travel. Check out his interview tomorrow at 1 o'clock with Neuro One Medical Technology CEO Dave Rosa, and I did interview him tonight. If you didn't see that, go check it out. I'm telling you, it's a great interview. Doge Mama 9, you were probably already hopped on there. I didn't get to see everybody on there. I was kind of in the zone there, and then I just kind of looked over. I seen a couple people in the morning, in the beginning. I know it wasn't Ross. It was, holy cow. I just starts with a P, and I just went blank. What the heck? The dude, he's always in the Discord. Why did I just go blank? You know who I'm talking about, and it'll come back to me. Hold on. I don't know why it just went completely blank, but why is it? He knows I know who it is. Damn, why can't I think of it? I'm trying to pick. If I had a photographic memory anymore, I'd definitely be able to remember things. Kind of crazy. Holy cow! I don't know why my brain is just not working. I guess that's tells me I did way too much here tonight. But anyway, Michael Anthony and Sam, and of course Zach and Doge Mama 9, and everybody else that tunes in. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you for hanging out, for chiming into the stream, and all that good stuff. If anyone has any questions, feel free to DM me on X. Any questions about the Discord or anything in general, feel free to reach out to me. That's for sure. I do answer everybody, and we will be on at 7 a.m. We do that show every Monday through Friday, and then we do this show every Sunday through Thursday at 8 p.m. So there you go. All information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only. It's not intended as financial advice, so always do your due diligence. And we'll say rest in peace to Scott Adams. He did pass away today. And I know my wife is like a biggest Scott Adams fan. I didn't even really know who he was until my wife. She's definitely hardcore big fan. She's listened to him for the entire time he's had his podcast and everything, and read all of his books and all. So she was definitely upset today. I know that, but yeah, he was a very bright guy and did a lot of great things for a lot of people there. So thinking about him and his family and friends right there. So there you go. Scott Adams did pass away, and he was fighting prostate cancer. He did it all the way up to his very last breath. He did a show yesterday, and he had a bunch of people doing it for him. And then his ex-wife actually said she was kind of helping him out, and I guess they had a pretty good relationship still, and obviously, and yeah, she said he passed away right before the show would have started. So pretty sad. He was in obviously not doing so well. He was in hospice care. So there you are. If you didn't know that or know who he was the Dilbert creator, the Dilbert cartoon. So if you know who Dilbert is, then you know who Scott Adams is. And so yeah, rest in peace to Scott Adams there. And there you go. We'll end it on that note. So we'll see you guys in the morning. Enjoy your evening, everybody. And I'll see you guys at 7 a.m. Have a good night, everybody.